try to break it down and build again. Every time we try to make up for something lost, you know, we're never letting go. This time we can reach the sky on a prayer. We go higher than high. Yeah, wide awake, it's a big mistake, 'cause it's something we can deny. But with a love like this, we'll never fall.
You know those childhood memories that just stick with you? Those were the days.
Take me back to the good times glow, when the world slowed down and the TVs glowed. From Mario jumps to TGIF nights, everything felt just right. If you remember, this is your song. Where you came from, still in on. Kick back, relax, stay a while. Voice of the people, U.S.A. makes it feel worthwhile. Grew up halfway between two worlds, mixtapes and modems, boys and girls. We saw the change, we felt the shift, but those memories remain a gift. So if you miss when life felt real and laughter echoed through the reel, this night's for you, come take your seat. We're past and present.
Little TGI Friday here. Got any cheese? Every Friday we get to go and pick out a video. We don't record over this one. If I remember this. Welcome. Be kind, rewind.
TGIF Friday Throwback on Hollis-tics, bringing back the good times every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time across social media and Voice of the People USA Radio and TV Network.
It's Friday night, and the mood is right. We're gonna have some fun, show you how it's done, TGI.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hollis-tics. I am Hollis Mahady, your host. And, I was really looking forward to this because, it's been a minute and I didn't plan for that to happen. Life sometimes gets in the way. And, that's a good thing about having a library of some past episodes. I was able to play the replays. And so it's kind of, like I said, it looks like I'm technically live. And sometimes I feel bad because I'll look at comments later. Are you there, Hollis? I'm like, oh, I'm kind of there, but I'm back. And, I was thinking about it. And the last episode we did was a Friday night a couple weeks ago, almost a month ago now. I can't believe it, with Donna Flormonte. She was my last podcast interview and just podcast guest. And that was a Friday. So here we are now. I have to look at the date, August 14th. Wow. So much has happened. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm very happy. I hope everyone's happy. But you know what? I was really looking forward to it because I missed it. And I was each Monday and Wednesday, I wanted to do a podcast. But something came up, a practice, a rehearsal. I'll get into that, where I've been. But I've been hurting, that's not the right word, yearning, that's the word, yearning to be back on stage in front of the microphone in a different way, because I was been using a microphone and been on stage, not on the podcast, but with some other things I've been up to here in Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland rocks. It really does rock. But what doesn't rock is that the summer goes so freaking fast. I can't believe it's August 14th. My birthday was on Sunday, August 9th, another trip around the sun, as they say. And I thank you, everyone. I got some lovely messages. I had a great birthday, but actually it's one of those birthdays where we have a trip planned. Well, hopefully that's all coming to fruition soon, but that's kind of the more like, I'm like, okay, your resources, your money and all that. I'm like, okay, well, we're saving up for that trip. It's going to be probably in the end of September. So that's going to be kind of more for the birthday. But, I had a good day and had some cake and did some stuff. People think, oh, it's your birthday. What are you doing? I do all this stuff. And I just did what I wanted to. I went to the pool and I just did like stuff I wanted to do. And it wasn't anything too extravagant, but good company. I was with my hubby. And he's awesome. And he got me something amazing for my birthday. It's actually not here yet because he ordered it and he thought it was coming in 2 to 4 days, but it was coming in 2 to 4 weeks. So it's not here yet, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. But yes, like so much has been going on in the world, right? And I say Hollis-tics here, it is Friday night, so we could do a little TGIF. We could talk about our shows and, my beginning there. I loved our Back to the Good Times song for us. 80s babies and 70s and 60s. I said everyone's welcome here, but sometimes we reminisce, and you won't totally understand that if you weren't born in those times or remember some of those movies and TV shows and things we talk about. And TGIF, of course, the lineup that it was, Full House and Family Matters and all that stuff. Um, but I say that holistics here is to kind of unwind and oh, that was not my happy magical sound. Let's try it again. Ah, there it is. It's been a while. That one was more of a hold about what's new. Big news, big news. What'd you say? But yes, this is the magical, as you can see, my galaxy, my background there. Ah, let's come to holistics. We're diving deep tonight. Now I said, there's no rules here. There's just so much to catch up on that we could do whatever we want. But I will read you the title in case you didn't see it of the thumbnail I put of what this episode's about, because we're going to get into all of it. Because in my time away, I've discovered some other podcasts and other thing and videos I've been watching, kind of going down the rabbit hole and doing a lot of reading on my balcony. And that is, that sound like a big dork, but I don't care. I love reading. And I've been reading loads of like spiritual books and one of my favorite authors. He's not really an author, but he's a spiritual teacher. His name is Michael Meerdad, and I love him. And I always read his stuff. And it's my happy place when you kind of disconnect from the world and you think about all the weird things that we don't see with our naked eye. And we're going to talk about that because that world seems so much more fun, and all this stuff also that I've discovered that I want to share. So it's going to get kind of weird. But in the meantime, if you're new here, again, I am Hollis. I am your host. This is Holistics. There's a QR code there. I have a community for people navigating a changing world, or should we say, an artificial world, or a simulation, or what is this place? Because social media, all that stuff. If it wasn't for social media and all this, you wouldn't see me. So there's some good stuff about it. But for the most part, I've also disconnected a lot. And thank you to my new phone, which I don't like very much, but it ended up being a blessing in disguise because I'm not even on it half as much as my old iPhone, which I talked about before, that I think I was addicted to it. I was on it all the time. And now this one's pretty frustrating. Like, as far as different keyboard, I'm not so comfortable with it. And it's been a breath of fresh air. It's just like, I don't use it half as much. Sometimes I feel bad because I don't even get notifications sometimes. Like, I turn it off and I'll get a text. I'll be like, oops, I'm sorry. I meant to, I wasn't ignoring you, but I'll see a text from someone and like, I won't answer for a day later. And now I used to be kind of I don't want to say the D word, a dick, but like sometimes I would see a message and you don't respond right away, but I would always see it. But this phone, literally, I don't even look at it all the time. I just like, and it's just so much better. But, I know everyone doesn't have that luxury because they're always on it for work. And I do, use it a lot, but not as much as I used to. And it's a good thing. A digital unplugging. So anyway, long story short, we're here on Holistics to unplug a little bit, human connection and meaningful conversations. Yes. The recreation movement, music, podcasts, and storytelling. It's all right there. So yes, the QR code there is if you want to join the community and support. I don't have advertisers or sponsors or all that. I do it out of my pocket, and I have to pay for all these things, but it helps. And anyway, there you go. And hollismahady.com, of course, is my website. If you're just stumbling across Rumble and you see this, we are broadcasting on the Rumble, on the Facebook, on Instagram. Yes, we're on Instagram. I always forget one, X, which again, I don't even go on X anymore. And I just love it. For like last year around this time, I was on X all the time. And I hate it all. I freaking hate it. Necessary evil in this world. Is it necessary? I don't know. But we're going to get into all that. So, look, there you go. Donna Flormonte. See, I still have her banner there. I got to change that. But in the meantime, I'm going to go over to the comments here and see. I see a couple comments there. Let's see if you guys remember me. I know I've been gone for a while. It's my regulars. Are you guys here? Is anyone here? Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, Muskill Chris is in the chat room. Hey, happy Friday. Happy birthday again for the other day. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Hello from the UK. Chris is in the UK. And, Chris, I have been disconnected a bit, but I'll see your posts here and there. And it was funny because I saw his post. He was working on music. And I said, I'm working on music too. I'm going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about Suno. Okay, because this is artificial intelligence, but as we've talked about it, but you're going to be kind of surprised when I tell you my experience of what happened with that, and you may be interested in that. And Mega Dirt Biker in the house. Good to have you back, Hollis. Thank you, Joe. I miss you, Joe. And it's good to be back. Are you doing okay? Because I know there was bad weather, tornadoes, and oh my gosh, let me know. Hopefully everything's okay at your house. Dan mentioned something that I think it was maybe the house next to you got hit. Bad weather, tornadoes, right? It's been crazy, but we've been okay here. There's been a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of lightning, and such and so forth and so on. But yes, Jim's Tim is in the house. Jim's Tim says, "Are you ready? Your arms are jacked." No, they're not. Oh my gosh, my arms. No, I have to start lifting. They're like I know, I haven't really done it yet. I've been got to get back into doing that. Aaron says, "So glad you're back." Aaron, I love you. Aw, well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Flex for the viewers. Oh my God. No, I was just looking at my arms. I'm like, I'm so weenie. I need to get like, you know, toned and just stronger. Did you get a lot of storm damage? No, like I said, we didn't really, oh, the other night I did get caught in the rain though. I was coming back from the studio and I hate driving in the rain. I mean, it was dark, it's raining, and it was luckily I was just getting off the exit when it really started pouring, but that was kind of like, trapped in the car. Not trapped, but I was in there for a little bit and then I'm like, I'm gonna make a run for it. And I was carrying like 100 bags. And I'm just like, it was like a movie, I'm just like running in you know, the storm and it was all drenched and I was just like, oh God, I hope I don't get hit by lightning because excuse me, I had to scratch my nose. One of the videos I watched was, we're going to talk about it, the NDEs. Does anyone know what that means? It's a near death experience. And I'll tell you about it in a minute, but one of the stories, the lady got hit by lightning. She didn't die, but she went off and she had this whole like near death experience. And it was because she was holding an umbrella. And I mean, what are the chances of getting struck by lightning, But she had a wedding ring on and she was holding the metal and she got hit by lightning. I mean, she almost died. She died like for a couple, like maybe a minute or, and then she came back to tell the story and everything. But then I was like, after that, I was looking because there was so much lightning around. I chat GPT and I said, what are the odds of getting struck by lightning? And do most people die automatically when you get struck by lightning? And and I was surprised by this. It actually said that most people survive getting struck by lightning. And I said, well, how does it actually kill you? Because I don't know. I mean, it's obviously a big electric shock goes through your body, but most times your heart stops. But anyway, so as I was running through the rain, that's why I was thinking about the lady with the lightning and her ring. And I'm like, what are the odds? And what are, you kind of think about it because I remember my dad used to go golfing all the time, and he sometimes would say, when the lightning would strike or he'd be out on the golf course and he can't really take cover anywhere. You're not supposed to go by a tree because I always mix that up. I'm like, are you supposed to hide under a tree or you're not? But you're not supposed to go by a tree. Obviously, if you could get into a car, if you could get into a building, but he would wear like golf shoes, and have metal on the bottom. And I remember him always saying, well, you take off your golf shoes and, lie on the ground because there's nothing around. So, but then I also asked ChatGPT that, and they said stuff like jewelry and like, golf shoes wouldn't really matter that much. But I don't know. Anyway, there you go. So, did Dan get you an electric scooter? No, he didn't. He got me something even better, but I don't have it yet. Sounds like a whoopee cushion. Whoopee cushions. Now that's something from the 80s. When we should look up that. When whoopee cushions were invented. Or I do my little did you know things on Facebook. And I'm like, did you know? And a fact. Maybe something about whoopee cushions would be good. Here's another one I didn't put up yet, but I read this the other day and it was like, did you know that all people, again, I don't know where they get these statistics, ChatGPT. I'll just go, but like, tell me a fun fact about something like that. And it was like, most humans spend like a year of their life. Guess where? A year of their life. More, I'm sure, for others, but a year of their life on the toilet. A whole year. I don't know. I mean, some people probably spend more time on the toilet. Did you figure out how to use it? Yes, Joe says we got hit pretty bad by the tornado, but I'm happy to say that God spared my entire property. Thank God, Joe. Oh my gosh. My neighbor had just had a few sheets of metal roofing torn off of his barn, but my neighbors were good too. Mother Nature, my God. Tornado. We were talking about that well, it was a long time ago now, but I remember talking about natural disasters one show for a while. A lot of trees down around our area, basically, but the gas station 10 miles from me was completely destroyed. Oh my gosh. Wow. Tornadoes, man. Chris says, we need some thunderstorms here. It's crazy hot in the UK right now. I can't remember what rain is like. Oh. And then Joe says, my phone signal was out for the first 2 days, so I actually had to drive 10 miles to that gas station just to get a phone call to my sister to let them know I was okay. Yeah, they were probably worried. Well, I'm so glad you're okay, but I guess like Cleveland, I remember when Dan and I were moving and we were like, he had a couple job like offers and we didn't know exactly where it was going to end up, but a lot of them were in Ohio and one was Cincinnati and Columbus. And I just remember even saying, where's the least tornadoes? Because I know Cincinnati's close. I'm not good at geography. I'm whispering. I listen, I'm not very good at geography. It was the only subject I ever failed. But yeah, so there was more tornadoes in Cincinnati. And so I said, well, maybe we should go to Cleveland. I guess I think you get them here too, but not as many. Jim Tim says, oh, is this about the lightning? Breathing paralysis. The electrical current can paralyze the brain's respiratory center or the muscles used for breathing, causing the victim to suffocate even if the heart restarts. Yeah, I saw that too. It was something that messes up your breathing. Yeah. Thank you. So, yeah. Extreme heat and burns. The massive energy can instantly heat metal in the body or vaporize sweat into steam, causing severe internal and external burns. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yeah, because I remember the lady's story. She said she had burns on her hands and stuff from getting struck by lightning. Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, let me just turn this banner off real quick because let's see. Let's show this one. Let's see if there we go. Okay, sorry, Donna. We love you. But remember, guys, Donna, Waverly Wellness House.com. That was an interesting interview, right? Isn't Donna lovely? As you say in the UK, Chris, she's lovely. She's very lovely. I love her. But yes. So there's lots of things I want to talk about. But okay, so yeah, I'll let me see here. We are on Rumble. Let's see if anyone's in Rumble. From the Rumble studio. Rumble. What is my little thumbnail that I put up? Okay, it says Hollis-tics. This is the title. This is the title of the show, in case you guys don't know. It's Hollis-tics, A Dream Within a Dream. NDEs, AI, and the Nature of Reality. That's the title. So A Dream Within a Dream. You know who said that quote? Something all would believe, but a dream within a dream was Edgar Allan Poe. And Dan is a big fan of him. And that's the thing, you're a dream within a dream. And the reason why I've always, since I was a wee little child, maybe not that little, but I've always been fascinated with, things that you can't see, energy and always wondering what's out there? What's this life? What is this really about? But is this really a dream? Like all that stuff, right? Like quantum physics and quantum leaps and different dimensions and different galaxies and parallel universes, all that stuff. So it was I don't know how I came across it or how I found it. Oh, Jim, yes. And I'm sorry, I did get your email. I feel like a jerk now. I'm so sorry. I meant to write you back. Yes, let's talk. We'll talk soon. Jim wants to come on as a guest and talk about, definitely we can talk about some health stuff and things like that. But yeah, we will plan something. I'd love to have you on. So, and I'm sorry I didn't write you back sooner. Like I said, I kind of just disappeared for a couple weeks and it's okay because I didn't disappear. I disappeared kind of offline because I was doing all this stuff, which I'll get to as well. It's very exciting news. I did a gig. I've done a music gig and I have another one tomorrow. But before we get into that, that's the music stuff. I want to talk about the NDEs and all that stuff. So does anyone know what an NDE is? I think I said what it was earlier. Near death experience. And right, NDE, near death experience. But so I don't know how it actually came to my attention. I don't know, I was just scrolling on, I don't know, on YouTube or whatever, but I saw this podcast and it was Blossom. You guys remember Blossom? Hey, speaking of 80s, the Blossom Joey, remember? Whoa, right? Isn't that Joey Blossom? I can never say her name right. Is it Mayim Balik or Bellic or Mayim Bellic or something? Anyway, she has this podcast and it's called The Breakdown or something. The Breakdown. I'll pull it up. Oh my gosh. I never would have thought, or I mean, not like I would even think or not think about it, but one of her podcast caught my attention, and then I realized she has like so many. I guess she's been doing it for years, and like obviously a lot of people know about it because she has like 2 million some subscribers. I mean, she was Blossom, and she was also the host on Jeopardy, right? And she was in Beaches when she was younger, and she was also wasn't she in The Big Bang Theory? So anyway, I've been watching all of her podcasts are all about like these stories of people who've had near death experiences. Oh my God, wow, it's crazy. And she talks about other people too, like angels and like one person could read auras. I mean, now again, this is not everyone's cup of tea. That's totally fine. But I'm into all this stuff. And man, the stories. I started watching this one video. I think we could pull it up here. Let me see if I could share my screen and pull it up so you could see. Because I've watched like probably like 7 episodes or something by now. And they are long though. That's the thing. Some of them are 2 hours. One of them was like 2.5 hours, but like it has your attention. It just goes so fast. Yeah, there we go. James, right. Mayim Balik. I can never say it right. Is that it? Bielik? We'll just call her Mayim. We'll just call her Blossom. Blossom, that one's easy. But and like, one of my favorite leisurely pastimes when I do my organizing. I do my organizing in my closet, try to get rid of things clean, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll put in my podcast in the background. And, when you're doing those things, it takes a long time when you're cleaning. So it just the time goes fast. So I was just addicted to them, listening to one after another. And that was one where the lady got struck by lightning. But let me and then there was this other one, because there's a lot on the page, but there was another one where the guy, he died like in a Dairy Queen and he was literally dead for like 3 minutes. It is a crazy story. I think that's the first one I watched, or maybe it was the second one. And I automatically sent it to Dan and I was like, Dan, you got to watch this. And all of these episodes, like all these people, they're all people, different walks of life, but they're so similar of what they experience when they like die, but they didn't die. They obviously came back to tell, but like, it's just crazy. Again, if you're into that stuff, some people get freaked out. They don't want to think about it and all that, but actually it's pretty cool. It sounds like pretty awesome. Like I mean, their experiences are so good. They all come back and they're all changed. They're like, everything is one. Like we are all one. I mean, I've always say that, it's like, in my book, Love Zombies, I have a chapter, We Are One. I've always known this universal thing. And that's why I think that was the reason why I put on the podcast, the title, A Dream Within a Dream, What's Real? And we're talking the artificial world and the simulation. Like, is this what's real? Because, I don't know about you guys, but I've always kind of felt weird here. I'm like, well, there's something very wrong. I mean, wrong with the world. I've always called it that, like backwards world. And with Love Zombies, it was just like everything is here seems inverted. Like things that are supposed to matter, or that I think in our soul we know it matters, like love, being kind to people, empathy, treating each other as one. When I say we're one, like literally, if people really believed they were one, they couldn't kill each other. They couldn't hurt each other. And that's like this whole concept that all these cases come back and say, they all say the same thing. No, you're part of source and we're all one. And they go to this place where it's just unconditional love. And it's just, I mean, it sounds amazing. And then they all they don't want to come back here and stuff because look this is a hard world. And she has one of her podcasts was called Earth School. And it's like talking about how this is a very, very hard, heavy place when we come here to learn lessons for our soul's growth, all this stuff. It's so cool. It's so cool. Okay. Now, again, I know some people might be tuning in. Oh, it's TGI Friday, but this is stuff I love to talk about. And, I just think it's important because I think a lot of people struggle to make sense of this world. I mean, it's just that it's so heavy. It's so dark. I mean, but there's good things too, but it's also, we're here for a reason to enjoy this journey as well, Ah. Okay, wait. Okay, let me share the screen here. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up YouTube. And let me know in the chat room. Has anyone ever heard of this podcast? Because I just love it. Okay, youtube.com. Hold on. Hold the boat. Okie dokie. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Okay, let's share the screen. And we're going to share the YouTube. Share. Okay. Now back on StreamYard here. Okay, share, add to stage. Oh, okay, cool. So now I'm going to go over here and find it. Okay. It might even be here. Like, it might be cited to Dan's, because the one I've watched like a million of them. I guess this is from last time with the TGI Friday stuff. Okay, let's see here. Oh no, this is Dan's. Okay, Mayim Bialik. There we go. Breakdown podcast. There it is. Yeah, and it said she started it as for a mental health podcast, and then it kind of just I guess morphed into it's all these things about past life stuff, or not past life stuff. Okay, I started watching this one. That was pretty interesting. I didn't watch the whole thing. These are just some of the titles, for aliens and stuff too. The CIA, and I didn't watch this one, not yet. See, I was because there's a lot, and I didn't really realize. I guess she's been doing it for a few years, and I never realized how much I love Blossom. My God, she's so cool. She's so she's a neuroscience or something, a neuroscientist, something like that. She's very smart. She's very scientific, but she's obviously very fascinated with all the stuff that you can't explain because those people who are like, nope, science, no, this world is all there is, and I just think it's it's a vast, vast universe out there, and I think it's ignorant for anyone to say they know everything. I mean, science can't prove it. Well, science, it's just there's things that cannot be explained, and I don't think they're meant to be explained, but her whole thing is looking, sure, the science part of it, because she's a neuroscientist, but also then looking at stuff that you can't explain. And some of these accounts of these people coming back, and the one lady, oh my gosh, there was another one where the lady, she had cancer very badly, and she had tumors everywhere, and she was about to die. She was they didn't think she was going to make it. She was in the hospital, and she died, but she was gone for a minute, or and when she was on the other side, they call it, they told her all this stuff. You got to watch it, but she came back, and they said on the other side, you want to stay, it's going to be healed. And within 2 or 3 weeks, all her cancer went away. I mean, that's something you can't explain. Even the doctor said that must be something from another world because we can't explain what happened. I mean, science couldn't prove it. The doctor, it was just this crazy story. But that was another one I watched. But yeah, these are just some of the titles. This was the one that you guys, if you're into this stuff, this was the first one I watched, or maybe it was the second one. Dead for 90 minutes. A miracle brought him back with 10 messages to help humanity. This was so good. And Dan, this is the one I'm saying you should watch. But if you guys are interested in this, definitely watch it. I like that. I love that guy. And he said all these great, wisdom he brought back from it. They don't want this investigated. Some of these, that's the girl from Friends. I died hating everybody. I mean, these are just some of the titles, and Earth School. There you go. That was the one I watched. Why your soul chooses this life and why you don't die. I died hating everyone. They brought out an alien. I didn't watch that one. This one I watched as well. She met God in a near-death experience. She was a drug addict. She was living a very, her parents had, both committed suicide. Can I not say that or whatever? But it's true. I mean, that's what happened. And then she was her life was falling apart. She was just doing bad things. And she says that. And then she had this crazy experience. This one I watched as well about your spirit guides. This guy was like channeling people. This was the very first one I watched. This one, and then the second one was the other that other one with the guy he died in the Dairy Queen. This one, dead for 7 minutes. He went past the white light and came back with a complete map of heaven. And but again, these all of them, because I've watched 7 or 8 at this point, and like they all have what's it called? Like a common thread between they all have like they're all a little bit different, but they all kind of like describe the same stuff. It's crazy. I didn't get to any of these yet about the aliens and stuff. Um, telepathy. That love zombies can teleport. You see why I wrote this stuff. I'm into all this stuff. Evil people don't go to hell. I didn't watch this one. Here's what actually happens to them. That you see, I just didn't get to watch all of them. I'm just checking back in the chat room. See, I can't see myself when I'm showing you guys all this. I don't know if anyone's interested in this stuff, but I love it. Okay, oh my gosh. I'm just looking at them in real time with you. I'm like, I want to watch that one. Why UFOs are hiding in our oceans and how the CIA trained psychic spies. This is crazy. This one I have. Oh wow, I didn't look at that one yet. Look at her hair. Look at her hair. It's like so it's wild. It's wild. Okay, she has spoken to 50,000 dead people. Here's what they all say. You see, I mean, you know, Scientology Nazi secret. I don't watch it. They're hiding more aliens. So she has different kind of like categories. Some of them are, how about this one? Oh, is that Deepak Chopra? Is that who that is? That's him. Isn't it Deepak Chopra? Is reality real? Shocking quantum science explains why we're living in a simulation. I died hating everyone. I started watching that one, but like I said, they're fairly long. Some of them are a little shorter. Like that's almost 2 hours. Like I'll listen to them when I'm driving. Like I go to the studio and back, and it takes about 25 minutes to get there. Sometimes 30 with traffic. So I'm like, oh, I'll listen to half when I go there. I just like to have them on. Your angels have a message. The rise has already begun. Oh, that guy again. The hidden reason you're exhausted. Oh, there you go. This is the one. Doctor said she had hours to live, then something impossible happened, Anita Moorjani. And what's weird too, because when she said that name and she mentioned it, I remember Dr. Wayne, and I play his clips sometimes on here. The guy I always play it, march to the beat of your own drummer and all that. That's Dr. Wayne. And he had told her story. And I remember him telling that story in the book, or maybe it was on a video or something. And so when she told the whole story. This was the lady who had cancer, and after she almost died and came back, then it was healed within a couple of weeks. And now she goes out and she talks about all this stuff. But yeah, there you go. You get the idea. If this is something that you're interested, the dark side of empaths, why wounded healers turn pain into superpowers. And another thing, a lot of them had in common, like when they had this other side experience, when they come back, some of them have supernatural powers, but more of like heightened sensitivity. Like the one guy said he came back and he could like see spirits and he could see all this stuff, and and then the one could see people's auras after they came back, like they could see color around people. It's kind of crazy. G Flood says, "Who's G Flood? Hello, G Flood. Simulation equals creationism for atheists." Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, again, it's just like, and it just brings you back to the point. It's like, I don't know. When we're on this earth, we're on this. Definitely, if you're interested in this stuff, watch the one about Earth School, because I've always said that too, right? And I think it's, I've always kind of, I don't know, how do I say it? Like, to deal with my own, experiences life that are hard, like people passing away, my dad, like everyone has their people that they lost, or really hard times in your life, like things when your life is sucking and you're going through this stuff and you're like, and I said, my way of thinking, was always like, well, these are lessons we're meant to learn. I mean, if you believe that your soul is here to learn, to grow, and to evolve, like self-help, right? People want to be the greatest like not everybody, but like self-help people like to be like a better version of themselves, better, just be better than yesterday or whatever, grow or learn, or learn from your mistakes, and all that stuff. So, I always thought, certain things you go through, if you could look at it this way, at least to me, it always made things just like, I'm like, okay, I must have wanted to learn this lesson somehow. And it's things sometimes you don't even realize, like a bad situation, like how much did you learn from it? And I talked about, I always talk about this, right? Like when we moved to Maine, we bought the house and all that stuff happened. Or, everything living through the music industry in Hollywood and meeting these people and learn and grow, and you learn about yourself. You learn like different lessons. And that's the thing, and again, this is always up for a debate. Again, these are just this is how my weird brain works, my views and stuff. Um, I believe that your soul and the energy never dies. I just believe it's transformed, or it's in a different form. I don't believe, when people say we go to heaven and all that stuff, or you go to hell, like everyone's different, religion and all that. But basically, when you die and your body goes away, like it talks all about like consciousness, like where does it go? Like are we in all of those accounts, like they say they could see themselves. Like did you ever see the movie Ghost? We talk about Ghost on here. Patrick Swayze, when he gets shot and then he's like running away, and then he looks and he sees himself on the ground, but he's like an energy. Now that was a weird one because he kind of stays here and then he's following him. He doesn't know he's maybe dead, and he's following the girl around and all that. But like all of these people, they said the same thing. They said they saw themselves. They're like, oh, is that even me? Like they're out of their body in our energetic form, in this like the spirit form, and they're looking at themselves. And there's some of them are like, oh, I don't want to go back. I'm good. Because as soon as where they were, they just felt like all this, like just everything was understanding, love. Certain people saw lights, so one person saw Jesus. I mean, everything's different, but it's just so freaking fascinating. That's why I think, when you're in this world, and not everyone does, but like, I don't know, I just believe there's so much more. And I just think, when you really get into this stuff and you're reading, you're watching all these videos, it just makes it just makes you see everything different. And I've always, like I said, I've always been into all this stuff. You got to see my bookshelf. It's full of like Journey of Souls and like Sylvia Brown books, thanks to Dan. Is that her last name? Did I say that right? Yeah. When you just kind of come here curious and you're like, and certain people are more drawn to it, or maybe just remember more, like remember why they chose to come here. When I talk about my song Amnesia, I feel like when we come here, we just forget, but we're here to evolve and to grow. And not everyone thinks that, but I do. So Travis and Charlene, hello. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Jason. Welcome. This is a typical Hollis-tics episode. It's been a while. So just getting into some of my favorite topics to talk about. And that does, speaking of, just in case you don't have it, that brings me to, again, the Love Zombies. I got my books here. It's on Amazon. I've sold a few copies. I don't really, excuse me. I don't really go on and keep advertising it. I got to get some ads put out and stuff like that. But here we go. We are one. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't see that. We are one. The Love Zombies know that we are one. And it just sounds so, so simple, because I know most people really don't believe that. But every single person on that, everyone, they all come back and say, we're all connected. There's we are one. And then when they get onto the other side of consciousness and stuff, they feel this unconditional love where like nothing is separate. There's not, it's just like, it just sounds like such a great feeling. My God, it's just, I always say that too. It's just like when humans come to Earth, or when we're born or whatever, at least for me, and I think for a lot of people too, you ever hear people say, oh, I just feel a void, like just feel like this empty feeling. And then they try to fill it with things that can't be filled with anything else. Like they try to fill it maybe with alcohol, like addictions. You know what I mean? Like there's like this void, or this empty, or this loneliness. And it's a void where you're longing for something. And I think a lot of people think it's love, and the kind of love, that like someone else can fill, like a partner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not complete until I meet my other half or my soulmate or this. I think there are people that are for you and they're, people, I'm married, my soulmate like that. But people think like you could find it everywhere else. But what is it you're longing for? And how would you know what that is if you didn't have it before? Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. I remember when I lived in like what is in the music industry and all that stuff, and I was always searching for things and like what's gonna make me happy. I thought you think it's success, you think it's Hollywood, not everybody. You think or dreams or a big house or you think it's all these outer things, and you're searching. I'm like, okay, maybe that'll make me happy. Oh, that's what I really want to do. That's make me happy. And you're always trying to fill that void, and it could lead to addictions and stuff like alcohol. Okay, I'm just feeling like I something to fill the void. I gotta have a drink or have a smoke or or sex or whatever. And but still, you're always looking for to fill that void. And people say, well, you can't fill that from anything else except God or something above or like love. Not from another person, from your self love or from like, a higher connection. But I always said it like, why would we crave what we why would we crave that if we didn't know what it was? Which always made me believe that wherever we came from, it must have been some good feeling place of what real love is, unconditional love. Like they all say unconditional love, like that they go back to. It's just like it's not conditional or like I'll love you if you do this for me. I'll love you as long as you do this, as long that's not unconditional love. Like and there's you hear, children and even children, like for a lot of parents, conditional. Like, you hear about some parents, maybe not as many as less, but like disown their kid because they don't like what they did, X or Z. That's not unconditional love. Like, it's just conditional love is like, I love you, blah, blah, blah. So, but it's just like a feeling that can't even be explained. It's just like, and they can't even explain it. Most people like, can't even put this experience into words because down here, it just feels like the complete opposite sometimes. It's just like the things that are valued in this world. Oh, your status, your job, your money, your whatever stuff, material that like, oh, you hear people who have like sometimes low self-esteem because they're like, well, I don't make a lot of money. I don't like it. But that's not, that doesn't matter. But in this world, it seems to matter more than anything, and yeah, I don't know. So there you go. Okay, so Jason is in the chat room and he says, Maga Dirt Biker says, well, I wasn't going to, but a couple of friends of mine wanted me to create one. Oh, okay, that must be something you guys are chatting. I just thought I missed something in the chat room there. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. And it sounds cliche, but again, that's why I wrote Love Zombies. That's why I talk about love and stuff like that, because, people search like, what's their purpose in life and all that. And well, what is it? What's really my purpose? Am I meant to do this and this and that? And I think just the purpose, like for most people, even though they might not believe it, it is actually to be the light, to be light in the world, to be loving, to, like I said, you don't have to go and do some huge, like glamorous thing. It's just to be a good person, because I think the world always just needs more love. I mean, obviously, when you look at the outer, we could get into a bunch of stuff. How about that thing? I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to happen about that Perez Hilton guy. Okay, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that? I'm sure you probably have seen it, but I had definitely some thoughts on that and why we're seeing stuff like this right now. I mean, and then that Ariana Grande video, did you guys see that where she's like covered in blood and she's killing the Hollywood people? And I'm saying the word kill a lot. I mean, they'll probably get like unalived, whatever. I guess I'm going to take it off probably or something. But already, guys, that's almost top of the hour. And I've just barely brushing the surface here. So with that, let me do a quick little media asset over here. And we'll get back. And should we talk a little bit about that? I won't show the video because it's pretty bad. But like I'll just talk about my 2 cents on that thing. But let's see. All right, I'll play a couple commercials. They're very short. And then we'll be right back after that. Now get your questions ready, guys. Get your questions ready in the chat room or what you think. Let me know. Have you seen that video? I don't suggest going to watch it, but we'll talk about it when we get back. All right.
You're watching Hollis-tics, hosted by Hollis Mahady. Be sure to visit hollismahady.com and join our email list to stay updated on upcoming shows, special events, new music, books, podcasts, and creative projects. And if you're looking for a community of like-minded people who value authentic human connection, meaningful conversations, creativity, music, art, and personal growth, join us at buymeacoffee.com/hollismahady. Together, we're building a growing community focused on preserving what matters most. Real people, real conversations, and genuine connection. Join Lolly and the Love Zombies Army on an unforgettable mission to Earth. After Drago unleashes his powerful amnesia fumes, people begin forgetting who they really are. Can Lolly and her friends help the world remember before it's too late? Discover the adventure, imagination, and heart of Love Zombies Land. Available now at hollismahady.com and on Amazon.
The world is made up with illusions of gold, but it's all just a story, a lie that we're told. Amnesia, we're under amnesia. They got us forgotten who we are. It's a spell that we're under, cast from the start. It's time to remember just who you are.
Oh, welcome back to Hollis-tics. I'm your host, Hollis Mahady. In the first hour there, we're talking a little bit about a lot of kind of deep stuff here about NDEs, near-death experience, because I discovered Blossom's podcast, which I guess, like I said, is probably going on for years. And another one I was watching on the, not watching, because when I'm driving, I don't watch. I just listen. It's on my Bluetooth. But let's see if I can find it, because this was so very cool and super interesting, but I don't know. I didn't see it. But basically, this one guy is talking about psyops, and for anyone who doesn't know what that is, I can't explain the exact definition. She says it in the show, but this guy is like, well, basically, anyway, what he talks about is that everything that we see in this world, especially now, we talk about this a lot, AI and like all that stuff, that social media, everything, but everything is designed to separate everybody, and that's why I talk about on the show that I do not talk about politics. I don't talk about anything that's going to divide people, because it's already in your daily life. When you meet new people, it's like, oh, you don't want to talk about it. I mean, maybe some people do, but for me, it's just, I got to the point in my life, because for a while I was, I have my opinions and all that, but I realized that, I think that this world and humanity and just humans in general, not everybody, but it's just, there's never going to be a right answer. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't think there's ever going to be, I don't think anyone's, one day we're all just going to come, like, everything's gonna be okay. We're all just gonna like agree with each other. It's like, it's just been this forever. It's been this way forever. It's like, no matter who's in politics or whoever's like, there's always gonna be people with different opinions. And that is, that's your right as a human to have different opinions. But it's like, at this point, it just, you have to go above it. That's me. That's my thing. It's just like, until like the consciousness and people really wake up and they could ever come to the conclusion that we are one, that we literally are all like the same energy, which people don't believe, because it's hard to believe in this world, right? We're all in separate like bodies, and we're all, everyone has their own identity and their own thing. And I think that's why these podcasts with her and, other things too, I watched over the years, always just fascinate me, because in a higher level, if there is something besides this, and we are really just here to learn and to grow, and we're having these separate human experiences, if we really are bigger than this, then these things that we argue about, and we fight about, has caused so much suffering. And it's all made by the human man-made mind, the smaller mind, the ego, the ourself, my identity. I'm Hollis Mahady. Are we bigger? Are we part of, strip away the identity, strip away the political parties, strip away all that stuff. And really, if you could ever just look at someone as not all that stuff, like not all those labels, and they're just like a soul, like who's really behind that? Like, who is that? We're we're all connected and we're all one. But until like more people wake up and we really can embrace that, which I don't know if it will ever happen. I hope so. But it's just, like I forget who said it. Was it might have been Albert Einstein, maybe not. I don't know. I'm quoting, but like you can't fix the problem with the same consciousness that created it. And that's why I believe so much in God and other bigger things, because like people say, oh, I can't believe, like some people don't believe in God and they're mad at God. They'll go, how, if God is real, why would he let this happen? Or why would this happen? Or why would this happen? But a lot of what happens is man-made. I mean, it's free will. So it's like, it's man-made, a lot of these problems, like all of these problems, So I don't know. So as far as that goes, it's tough, because when you think like that, not a lot of people do think like that. When you could really see bigger, when you could just see the human, as a soul, not as a Democrat or a Republican or this race or that, when you could really just see their soul. That's like if more people could think like that, like you wouldn't hate them. You wouldn't hate them just because they believe this or that. I always say, like, would you rather be right or would you rather have peace? And I heard that before, and it just makes sense too, because I used to be like that too. It's like very opinionated, very strong, like, oh, no, and like tell people this is what's going on, and trying to convince people, and and at the end of the day, it's just people just trying to be right. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. I don't think anyone will ever be right, because I think humans, no offense to anyone, but like I just think humans we don't really know. No one really knows why we're here. Why God created us, or some people don't believe that God created us, or like, oh, it's ignorant to think like there's just so much, but we get distracted and then we get in our bubble, and it's just like, okay, no, the daily life. No, but there's so much of a bigger world. And then, like I said, it always blows my mind when I watch things like that. And, tap into when I say the fun part of life is thinking about that stuff. And again, not everybody thinks like that at all. And people be like, what are you talking about, Hollis? You're crazy. But, for those people who might understand that, and like, this is who I am and this is what I talk about, So let's see. Let's go over the comments real quick. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So, what was I going to say? Yeah. But there you go. That was from the Dalai Lama, the Dalai Hollis. What else has been going on? Okay, so should we talk about music a little bit? Yes, let's talk about music. So, as I told you guys, I live in Cleveland now. And I used to be in many bands, and I haven't been in a band in a long time, but I put up an ad maybe now like a month and a half ago, but put up an ad and was like, oh, I'm new in town. And it was like a Musicians of Cleveland thing on Facebook, and people are always like, have mentioning gigs, or they have bands, and it was like a network of musicians. So I was just like, oh, maybe I'll just put something up. I don't have any friends here. I don't really know anybody. Maybe it's time to come out of the cocoon and try to meet people and all that. And I like to sing again. Obviously, I sing in my studio, and I've been doing my album and all that stuff. But yeah, so I put up an ad, and a bunch of people wrote to me, and they're like, oh, we're looking for a singer for this band. We're looking for, a couple of people wrote to me. A lot of them they're in cover bands. And I talked about this in an episode, like, it's a big scene out here where people, they play covers and they make money and all that. And I was a cover band in college for a long time. And anyway, so there's a couple bands I was like singing with, and went and met some people. But what I'm very excited about, I'm going to announce it on the show, because I'm doing a gig with them tomorrow, and I did a gig with them last Saturday. So they had a singer. They still have a singer, but they needed another singer. They need another part-time singer because the other girl can't do all the singing. But anyway, it's an all-female band. Isn't that cool? And they freaking rock. I love them. And I went and they were looking for, like I said, another singer, because the singer they have, she can't do the gigs all the time. But 2 female guitar players, a female drummer, a female bass player. And I was never, ever in a female band before. And, Jess is in the house. It's Jess here. My phone is broken. That's why I'm on Mason's profile. Aw, thank you for coming in, Jess. Well, it doesn't matter. I know who you are now. You've Introduce yourself. Oh, wait, it says my name. Yeah, here you go. Jess is in the house. Yes, Jess, I was just telling, I don't know how long have you been here, but I was just announcing that I've joined an all-girl band. And I've never been in an all-girl band. And they play, it's like I say, it's a hard rock, like tribute band, but they're awesome. I love them. They're just like, they're all just really good. I mean, all the, like yes, Jess heard. But the drummer's great. I mean, the two guitarists, Kathy, the guitar player, I mean, she's amazing. I'm just like, she could whip out all these solos. I mean, she's so good. And Shayla's the other guitar player. I mean, this girl is phenomenal. She could play guitar, she could play drums, she could sing, she does electric guitar. I mean, they do it all. And then there's the bass player, her name is Adrienne. She's amazing. The drummer's amazing. And I'm just like, and I went to do my audition and they gave me 3 songs to come and to sing. And one of them was White Rabbit and by Jefferson Airplane. And the other one was an immigrant song by Led Zeppelin. And there was another song called Paris by yes, Keep It About the Music and It Will Be Great. Yes. And a song called Paris by Grace and the Nocturnals or something. But I never had heard that song. And I ended up liking it. It's a pretty cool song. So anyway, I was practicing that. And then I went and I met with them and I sang and yeah, okay, Jess knows. She says both awesome songs. I know Paris. I never like it was one of the, I bet you I did hear it before, but I didn't know it right away. But anyway, so I started learning the songs to do the audition. And Jefferson Airplane, that was at first I was like, oh, this is kind of hard, pretty hard to sing. And then I was practicing, I got better at it. But yeah, I mean, you just go and you feel vibes from people, and it's just good energy. It's just fun and ooh la 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 la. Oh, ooh. Yeah, so like, and that's just right up my alley. Yes, Jess. Well, then Mr. Pinky. Oh my God, you're gonna laugh, Jess, because I was like, I already know like half of your set list. I never thought I'd be singing all the small things again, but that's on there. I'm like, hey, I know that one. I knew. They do like Ozzy. They do like Crazy Train. I used to do. What else did I do? Basket Case, Green Day. Like these are things I never thought I'd sing again. And it's amazing though. And Summer of '69. It's just I've sang those so many times with Mr. Pink. It's amazing though how they just came back. It was just like I remembered all the words. Maybe I messed some of them up, but like Summer '69, I must have sang that like 10,000 times. So that one I knew one way or another. Well, so a lot of them I knew, but then a lot of them I don't know. So I mean I know them. Almost all the songs I've heard before, but I haven't actually sang them. So some of those I have sang, obviously like the ones I just mentioned. What else? What else was there? I'm just thinking I probably have the set list somewhere. But yeah, so I don't know. I was just like, you know what? This is pretty cool. And they're just, just nice, good people. And like, it felt nice to be back on stage. So they asked me if I could do in like it was kind of a last minute thing. It was August 8th, which was the day before my birthday. And because they sometimes go as a 4-piece, sometimes as a 5-piece, because the other girl, I haven't met her yet, but her name's Hannah, and she's also she has an original band, I think it's called Trust, and she does a lot of her own stuff. And she's awesome too. She's a great singer, but she has her own thing, so she can't always do the gigs. So when they don't have her, the 4 are just doing it. And the one girl, Shayla, she has to sing everything. And that's hard because she's playing all the guitar and also singing every single song. So it's a lot. So they were looking for someone else to do, do the other gigs that the other girl can't do. So there's my step in. I said, I can do this. I can do it if you need it. And they're also excited because I play the keyboard. And that brings me to what Dan got me for my birthday. And I haven't gotten it yet, but I was like so excited when he showed me the picture. He's like, I'm sorry, it's not here yet. I thought it was 2 to 4 days, but it was 2 to 4 weeks. But he got me, and I used to have one of these. And after I joined this band, I was like, damn it, I wish I still had it, my keytar. And he ordered me a keytar. And I'm so excited to get it. It's just like I had this keytar for the Love Zombies. And I didn't really play it that much in the Love Zombies, like 1 or 2 songs, but it was so cool. and you could like do guitar solos on it, and you could play, and they don't have a keyboard player. So I said, I've been practicing a little bit, but I've been practicing a lot on my regular keyboard. And yeah, so I said maybe I could add that to it, because they do like they do the song Zombie, by the Cranberries, but they do the Bad Wolves version, and there's a cool piano in the beginning of it. I'm like, oh, I was already learning it. So yeah, because a guitar is something you can walk around with. I like to move around. I was never in a band strictly as a keyboard player. Like I know I could, but I say that, but like at the same time, like, I always played keyboard and learned keyboard really just to accompany myself. So I'm like really comfortable with doing all the chords, and I could read music, but I never was in a band just as like the synth player doing all like the other, stuff. So that's not something I really ever did, but you got to challenge yourself. And I just think you become a better musician when you're, you know, having to do these things. Like, for instance, what was it? Journey was one. I was just learning some of the piano stuff, like, um, like the intro. And then I was trying to learn the Piano Man, the solo and that, it goes, yeah. So I'm very excited to get the guitar. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was the best birthday present because I was literally thinking of it and they are expensive. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I can't, but, so that's what credit cards are for. You just have to pay it off after a while, but I'll be making loads of money now, right? No, I don't know. I wish, but getting paid something to do what you like to do and love to do, that's to me is a gift. And yeah, so very exciting. It's exciting. And then there's another band. There's two other bands I met with and singing with, and there's another band, an 80s band I'm going to be doing a show with, and they're really nice, great, cool people too. Like good. Like there's a lot of music here, which I love. Like they actually care about it. And the girl band as well, they do have like a couple originals. So, I do my own music as well and stuff like that too. And I like to put my own original band together, which I'm going to be doing as well. So one thing at a time, but it's just nice to, be out playing again. It's fun. And we played at a place like I said, last Saturday night, August 8th, and it was like an outdoor, we played outdoors. Unfortunately, it started raining. Luckily, we were under the tent, but we had to move everything quick and then there was lightning storm in the back. I'm like, oh my God, it was like singing Green Day. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to get struck by lightning singing Green Day, my last song ever on earth. Oh, I don't know if I would pick Basket Case to be that, but luckily. And again, like I said, ever since I've watched that episode, that lady got hit by lightning, I'm like more paying attention to lightning more. But don't ever be swimming. You get out of the pool if there's lightning. You got to be careful. But yeah, but anyway, it was called a tavern, Chagrin Tavern or something. And I felt like I was like on a little vacation. It was nice. It was outside. It was on a big stage, actually on a really nice stage. And there were boats, not like there were boats like parked, like it was like on a dock or something. And everyone was outside and people were enjoying it. It was just fun. It was a nice time. It was a nice time. Jess says you are not a stationary performer. Not at all. I know, right? I'm like stretching. I'm like, because there was another band I practiced with them like once or twice, and the nice, like good, great musicians. But sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I'm a little wild. I don't know if this is, they could handle the Hollis, because I'm not good at just standing still. It's just to me, I just can't stand still, especially on stage. I'm like, I have always been a front person, a performer. I remember I had my wireless mic, even just being constrained to a wire. I'm like, hey, I'm here to entertain. So I like to go and, talk to people, or even run out in the crowd and all that stuff. But yeah, I used to do push-ups on stage. I don't know, just remember I was like doing push-ups and jumping jacks. And in the Love Zombies, I had a mini trampoline. That was that was cool. I would love to get that again. It keeps you in shape. I would love to like be just doing shows every night, like, every single night, but like it keeps you in shape. You get your stamina up, because I like to move and I like to sweat. It's like, yeah, let's go. Let's have fun. So just standing there, I'm not great at just standing still or just being in the background. So there you go. Yes. You had a trampoline. I did. It was a mini trampoline. I remember it caused like a fight in the band because I wanted to have it for one show, and then one person didn't want me to have it. And I was like, well, why can't I have a trampoline? Like it was, it was a big stage too. I have footage of it somewhere, but I think it was the Warp Tour. We played the Warp Tour, and I had this mini trampoline. You know, the trampoline is good for your lymphatic system. And air punching. Yes, air punching, a signature move. Yeah, I got some weird moves. Sometimes I watch the video back. I'm like, oh, I gotta remember doing that. Air punching, air guitar. But yeah, so there you go. So that's the thing too. Like with the podcast, like all these rehearsals were on a Monday and a Wednesday, and so I don't know. It was just kind of one of those things where trying to get things together and make money and do other jobs and stuff. Unfortunately, the podcast didn't really pay anything, so I'm just like, okay, well, I got to kind of get my stuff together, and that's what happened. That's what happened. But I did find myself hankering. I had a hankering to do a podcast, and I was missing everybody. Jessica and Sewell and Smule. Okay, I'm going to do it. I promise. I saw something pop up. I want to do it. It's not that. It's just like I don't know. I told you with my phone. I've just kind of like did a little bit of a digital detox. Yes, thank you, Joe. Thank you. And if you want to check out the band, they're named Medusa. That's the name of the band, Medusa. And they rock. They rock. And we're going to rock even harder because I'm going to be in the band as well. So there you go. So it's very exciting. And yeah, what else was I going to talk about? Suno. Okay, yes. Oh, yes. We're going to talk about Suno. And I brought up that Perez Hilton. And we could talk about that too. But okay, let's do a quick little break here. And not a break, but I'm going to play my little Love Zombies thing to remind everyone who might be watching on Rumble. I see a couple eyeballs up there. In case you didn't know, we are one, guys. Go and watch that Mayim B like breakdown. It's so freaking good. I don't know, whatever episode you pick, but it's all an illusion. Separation, division. We are one and we love each other. And that's what the Love Zombies about. So I'm going to play this real quick and then we'll come back and we'll talk about both those things. We'll talk about Suno a little bit because I've experimented with it. I want to talk about it. I don't know if Chris is still here. And we're also going to talk about, if you want, that Perez Hilton. It just not because I like celebrity gossip and all that, but it's just more, again, what I was talking about, the spiritual stuff of what's happening in Hollywood. Oh my God, all this stuff and like what to believe or not, like whose voice is real. I keep hearing these interviews, like these celebrities talking about all this stuff that's going on, but you don't know if it's really them talking. So we're gonna get to that and more after these quick commercial break. You are watching Hollis-tics, and I am your host, Hollis Mahady. Be right back.
The world has forgotten something important, and it's up to Lolly and the Love Zombies army to help us remember. When the evil Drago unleashes dark energies and dangerous amnesia fumes across Earth, a colorful band of heroes embark on a cosmic adventure filled with friendship, imagination, and heart. Love Zombies Land, a story for kids, but a reminder for adults too. Available now as a digital download exclusively at hollismahady.com. Each copy includes access to bonus content and a special soundtrack through an exclusive QR code inside the book. Join the community at buymeacoffee.com/hollismahady and receive a free digital copy as a thank you. And coming soon, the paperback edition, which will be available on Amazon. Join Lolly and the Love Zombies army on their mission to help the world remember what matters most: love. You're watching Hollis-tics, hosted by Hollis Mahady. Be sure to visit hollismahady.com and join our email list to stay updated on upcoming shows, special events, new music, books, podcasts, and creative projects. And if you're looking for a community of like-minded people who value authentic human connection, meaningful conversations, creativity, music, art, and personal growth, join us at buymeacoffee.com/hollismahady. Together, we're building a growing community focused on preserving what matters most: real people, real conversations, and genuine connection.
It's Friday night, and the mood is right. We're gonna have some fun, show you how it's done.
TGIF, everybody. Happy Friday, everybody, on this lovely August evening. I love the summer. I always say it, but I can't just say it enough. I just love it. I love wearing um tank tops and shorts because it's just so easy. It's so much easier than I'm gonna put on leggings and a sweatshirt and scrape off the car with the snow and like, oh, the Northeast, the Northeast. You guys on the West Coast have it good out there in certain areas, but the weather, number one, because you don't have to deal with snow and all that stuff. Some people like it. I know Dan loves the winter, but I can't get enough of the pool, and it makes me sad because only a couple weeks it's going to be closing already. The pool, and I love the pool. We have a nice pool here, and I've been spending many days out there, and I get working on my tan while I can. As you see, I was drinking green tea. What is everyone drinking tonight? What's everyone having for dinner? We are having Chinese food, and I'm very excited about this because I haven't had it in a long time. And yes, why not? Um, but yes, a little iced tea. Cheers, everyone. It's good to be back. I was like, you know what? I haven't done this in a while. Am I going to remember how to do it? I'm a little rusty, but yeah, you know me. I don't have a shortage of things to say, or um, I talk a lot. I talk a lot, and I could go on, and it's always nice. Like I said, thank you guys for being here because it's always better when there are people in the chat room engaging. So cheers. I'm going to take a sip of this. Mm. Ah, blah. All right. So what we're going to talk about was Suno. Suno. I don't know. Is Chris still in here? Chris, are you still there? Muskill Chris? Is he in the house? Jess is the musician. Okay. So let's talk about Suno. Does anyone know what that is? Because I had heard about it, and I, of course, was very against it. So like, no. Um, you know, there's so much because we talk about this right on Spotify, and I talked about so many episodes how many tracks are uploaded every day that are made by AI, purely AI, right? Like and people are using Suno to make them. I'm sure there's other ones too, but so Suno is the music generator where you could go in there and um you could just say to them, you don't have to put lyrics in, you don't have to do anything. You could just say, I want to write a song. It's like a whatever the style, you know, if it's R&B or a rock song or a country song, write me a country hit about cowboys having fun or something. And they could just put that in there. They make a song, and then all of a sudden they're putting it up on Spotify, and it's flooding it, and it's making my music that was made by me in the studio, and I paid for it all, and a real musician. And it's very hard to find, right? We talked about that. It's oversaturated. No one cares about music anymore because so many people are using AI to create music. It's making music valueless. It's making there's so much of it that people don't really value it anymore. No one wants to pay for it. How many times we had these talks, right? My first 30 episodes, I think, came up every single time. So you'd probably be surprised to hear that I tried Suno and that I used it and my feelings about it. So now with that said, you can do what I just said. You can not even use your mind, any creativity, nothing. And you could make a song, and then it's AI, so it's going to sound good. I was obviously very transparent on my Love Zombies theme song, Love Zombies book. The soundtrack I made, that was just AI. And I love the songs. I think they're cool, but it is what it is. I'm not claiming that I wrote them or sang them, even though I do want to sing them. Actually, I'm going to sing them. I'm going to re-sing them myself eventually. That's on the to-do list. But so you can do it like that with nothing, right? So why did I try it? Why would I think to even try it? Because I was pretty much like, no, Suno bad. I don't know. I don't even care. And then I was like, okay, let me look at it and see what else it actually does. So I decided to take one of my songs. And okay, so I did it. Actually, I ended up doing it for a bunch of them, but I put one of my songs in there from my album. Let's use an example. Hey Oka. Or Comedy of Errors, right? And they give you an option where you can upload your music and upload your lyrics. And what you can do is you can say, can you make this song into like a different style? Can you do this as a rock version? Or can you make this song a little bit more a pop version? Could you make this upbeat? And you could add like what you want. Can you put flute in there or violin? Or can you do something? So I ended up putting in a few of my songs, but I put in like Heyoka in there. And if you listen to my album, it's I don't know if I played Heyoka on the show. I think I did, but or maybe I didn't. But anyway, it's all my piano, and I played it in the studio, and I got it recorded in Pennsylvania with Wiggy, and he was great. Like, I was so super happy with my album, about to put it out and everything. But I was just kind of curious. I'm like, well, I wonder what it would do if it was like a different production, because you know a producer and production of a song completely can change the song. And so that's what I was like curious. I was like, wonder what like a different production of this would sound like if it's not like Hole in Our Hearts, for example. That's one of my songs. It's pretty slow. It's piano. It's a little sad. I even said I didn't want to put it out as my first one. It's pretty sad. And that's another one I ended up putting that in too. And I said, could you make this a little more upbeat, poppy? And so I put it in, and like what it came out with, I was like, oh my God. It was just it was crazy. I was like, "Oh my gosh," like, the production of it, like, it just completely gave it again, it was all my lyrics, was all my melody, but it was just a different production. It had different kind of a different kind of guitar. It just really, like, in a way, it just brought it really even more to life, and I was like, "Wow." So that's the thing too. It was almost like, and again, this might be boring for people who don't really know the other side of music, for the listener who just enjoys music, which is a lot of people, and that's fine. So, but for someone like me who's been in music and who has recorded albums and who has worked with a lot of producers and who has gone through a lot of trying to get producers to understand what you want and to do, and and the frustration of trying to say no, I want it like this, and it never, at least not most of my experiences, never came out exactly how I wanted it. It was like, no, like this. I want it like this. But you never have maybe the right musician, or they don't really get your vision, or you don't have the budget. That's the biggest thing. You don't have the budget to sit there on each song for the time it really would take. Like, for instance, my album, you know, I have like 16 songs on there, and I recorded over the course of a couple. Actually, it took me almost 2 years to finish it, not because we spent that much time on it, but because I could only afford to go into the studio maybe a couple days here, and we had to kind of work fast because I didn't have a big budget. I don't have a record label. I don't have, I was funding it myself. I mean, my album probably cost me close to like $6,000, which for me is a lot, because I'm not funded by anything, which, making my own, like paying for it, which is really nothing compared to even what I did with Love Zombies, where that album cost 25 grand. And that was completely real musicians. And, we had the drummer from Queens of the Stone Age on it, and this, and that was a favor that, it was $25,000. He like cut us a deal because he knew my manager and all that stuff. But that was like a favor, $25,000. So to go from that to $6,000, which was my album, but we had to work fast, like I said. So I guess my point is, putting the song in there and it coming out with the production where I was like, oh my God, like if I had the time, this is what I wanted it to sound like even more. And so that's where I was just blown away. And it was almost like, oh my God. I know I keep saying that, oh my God, oh my gosh. But it was just to hear the song in a way that I never heard it before, like, just, like, bigger, you could, like, just more alive a little bit, and then, again, not to at all knock my album, because I love my album. I think, I'm proud of it. I think Wiggy did an amazing job. Nothing to take anything away from that, but just to hear it at that next level, and, you hear it, I'm like, "Oh my gosh," and I already know, like, to go in and produce that the way that they did that one song, like, to go in and to a studio and to try to get like everything they did, like that would cost thousands of dollars for each track easily. The way, so to me, it was really cool to see that, to hear it. And then I started like going back to some of my old demos where, like, I had a song called Sunbathing, and I always loved that song. And we recorded it. It was actually, it wasn't a Love Zombie song, but I had wrote it, and I played it with Davey, so he kind of helped me with that one. I remember, But I have a version. It was just him guitar, me on piano, and I had a voice memo, from start to finish, had my words, I had the melody, the song, like my song. And I put it in there, and what I always wanted to hear that song as, and which I never got around to getting to the studio to record it. One, it's always because of money. Because I'm like, well, I don't really have the money to go to the studio, and you never could hear it, like get it how you want it and all that. So I put that in, and I said, can you make it kind of like a rock ballad or something? Or I forget what I put in. And it just came out with like, that's what I want it to sound like. Now, it comes back with an AI vocal. It's not me singing it, but it kind of gives you the idea. So for me, it's kind of cool to use as a production tool. And you could experiment with different sounds. You could be like, can you make this? And some of them I kept putting in was like, can you make it like Electric Light Orchestra or something, like a 60s, 70s sound with this kind of guitar and like strings or some synthesizers, and boom, it comes out, and I'm just like, wow. And again, like I said, it's not my voice. It'll give you an AI voice who sang it. Of course, they're robots. My God, the way that it can sing, it's just, it's so good. I mean, again, it's a robot though. So I'm not, but I'm not advocating it for, because some people get very weird about AI. And I used to be like that. I was like, no, 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 no. But like I said, from someone who lived in both worlds, and I had spent so much of my life in studios and trying to figure out how to pay for it and this and explain to producers, just to be able to put it in there. It's almost like a tease though, too, because it's just like, if they wanted to re-record that and have, the production wise, and go into a studio and re-record that with the drummer, with a real guitarist, with a real violin player, with the vocals. I mean, again, like I'm saying, that would cost thousands of dollars per track easily. And that's the problem. Like I said, that's kind of how it's a tease, because it's just like, do you want to just use AI music and sing over it and stuff? You can't do that. Or do you want to go into a studio? But it's like, it's always the same thing. The problem is it's like super expensive, and there's no record deals anymore. There's no advances, so you kind of have to learn how to do it at home. But I don't know. So there's my experience with Suno. And yeah, I just had so much fun with it, because I'm like pulling out all these. I've written so many songs over the years, and and I think a lot of people have this frustration. I'm sure a lot of musicians do, because we're not all producers. We're not. Yeah, I record demos and but they don't sound that great. I mean, it's all right. I'm not a producer. I mean, I could get better at it, and yeah, sure. I just haven't put the time in to really get better at it. And you should, know how to do all that stuff. But that is also a job. That is like, some people have that argument. Well, maybe why can't you just do it yourself? But you can't do everything yourself. And, when it's again, it's just how things have evolved. It's like different ways of doing things, because what Suno is doing now, again, how you use it is all different. Like I said, it's not super creative. And I can see why musicians and artists get mad when, like, oh my God, someone just goes in, types a thing, gets a song, and puts it up on Spotify. And now, like, I can't break through because of all this crap. Yes, I agree. I'm there with you. I get it. Like, someone who recorded their own album spent all this old money, and it's just now, boom. Like, people can do with AI in like 2 seconds. Is that real? Or, am I better because but even back in the day, people would go, bands, like every band you've ever heard on the radio had a producer. I mean, like songs like, I think of the example, like, what's his name? Spector? Was it Phil Spector? Maybe he was bad though. Then he ended up, like, didn't he kill someone and like he went to jail? I don't know if he's still in jail or he might have died. But if James, if you're there, you can look that one up. But was it Phil Spector or whatever? Was it the Ronettes or the Shirelles? Or I might be mixing that up. But they take a song in there, and it's like a song like I have on my voicemail, or we have the melody like, and then the producer, or Quincy Jones. I mean, all these big producers, or what's that other guy, Rick Rubin, like all these huge producers, right? Like there's many more. You take your song in as an artist. Like, sure, you wrote the melody, you wrote the words, but most likely you're taking your song in as its basic form. I mean, it's just like on a voicemail or whatever. And then you're giving that to a producer. And that's why artists are always, oh my God, I want to work with this producer. Why? They take your song and they see their vision for it. Maybe they arrange it a little better, or maybe, or how you hear people like, oh, how do we make it into a hit song, like all that. But a producer's job is to bring the song to life, and to create a sound for someone. Like, I was watching some Amy Winehouse videos the other day, but like her sound, or your producer is the one. Who's her producer? Forget. But they create that sound for you, you know, and that's the weird thing. Like with Suno, like it's almost like they're acting as a producer. In my role, it's just like, wow, I've never heard it like that. And yeah, so it's just, again, if we could go back to before there was AI, I'd say yes. Like, I would say yes. I don't want any of this shit. I didn't create it. I didn't ask for it. Like, most of us, we're just living the effects of, like, what the heck? Should we use it? Should we not use it? Like, what? Like, it's the music industry has changed. I mean, no one makes money. Everyone's this. Or do you stand staunch and you're like, I'll never use AI? Or are you thinking, oh, wow, like, maybe it'll help me with this. Like, oh, and that gives me some ideas. Like, oh, I've had a bunch of musicians on, right? Lord Thaddeus was one. Mark Woodiad, he's using it to, like, as he said, he's putting in his violin, and he says he's not reliant on all these other people anymore. It could kind of help him. So, I don't know. So for me, it was just, wow. I was like totally blown away. Even some of the AI vocals would come back, and they would do like maybe like a change, do a little like, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, I wonder if I could do that. Like, just kind of giving you what a producer would do. I remember I would go into and work with some people, and they'd be like, sing the melody just up a little bit. And and it's called help. They help you. And so now it was just kind of like, wow, I never thought to do that or whatever. So is this boring for you guys? Is anyone listening? Is anyone still here? Yeah. Yeah, guys, there you go. Okay. What else are we going to talk about? On that note, very quickly, I'm going to take another sip of my iced tea. Let's play a little, I had the Mark Woodiat one. Let me see. I should have dead air. I have dead air. I just want to play something I didn't play yet. Covers. That was my song. Here, let's play. This is my song, made by me. There's no AI.
Life is a gift, the game we play.
So don't forget, guys, you could download that covers at my website there, hollismehdi.com. Amnesia is also up. And I see my little Dr. Wayne clip here. I'll play that because I mentioned Dr. Wayne earlier, and that it was that lady, that story I was watching. And then I was thinking, I should get the video I made. I made a little for Medusa so I could show you. Let me see if I could email myself the video. I don't know. How would I get it up on the screen? Because that's one thing I know I'm pretty good at, is putting videos together, because I've had a lot of experience. I've put about 10 million videos together, and they did this like battle of bands. This obviously is before I was in the band. I just joined it, but and the footage looks fantastic. And I was like, and the guitar player Kathy, I love her. She's just so nice. She's probably not watching this, but if you are, I love you. But I saw the footage. It was really professionally shot. It looked really nice, and I was like, give me that footage. Let me see if I can put something really cool together. Because they're, booking more gigs for the future and everything. I was like, you got because they have a promo video, and it's good. It's great. But I think this footage was shot after that, and it's on a really big stage. And I'm like, I could put something really cool together, like a little trailer. So let me see. I'm going to play Dr. Wayne. I'm going to see if I could email that video to me, because then I could maybe pull it up here and show you the girls in action. Obviously, and I also, was able to cut myself in there a little. You'll see me peeking out, but there's no footage really with me yet in there. So, But yeah, you'll see. So let me see. Let me play Dr. Wayne, and then let me see if I could get it out here so you guys could see a sneak peek of what's to come. All right, here we go.
Next principle I call don't die with your music still in you. And who better to quote than Thoreau right here in Concord when he talked about some of us hear a different drummer and we must march to the music that we hear. But all of you, everybody watching, everybody here in this beautiful parish, all of you have some music playing. And all of you have a heroic mission. There's no accidents in this universe. We all show up here with a purpose. There's an intelligence that is a part of everything and everyone, and all of us are connected to it. And too many of us are afraid to listen to that music and march to it. You out there, I know you have a book you wanted to write. I know there's a composition you wanted to compose. I know there's a song you want to sing someplace. Maybe you want to raise horses out in Montana. Or maybe you want to open up an ice cream shop on Cape Cod. Who knows what it may be. Maybe you just want to travel and see the world. Maybe you want to go into a relationship with someone but you've been afraid to, but your heart says it's the right thing to do. All of us feel something. And in Leo Tolstoy's famous novel, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, he asks this question that would be terrifying to me. He says, as he has his accountant from Moscow lying on his deathbed, contemplating the horror of this question, what if my whole life has been wrong? I've known what my music is. It's playing right now.
Okay, I found it. Okay, let's see if this will work. Here we go. Let me see. I'm going to add this to the stage. Okay, so this is the video I made. I'm going to push play and let's see if we can hear it. You guys still with me? Anyone in the chat room? You guys ready to see some rockin' women who rock? All right, let's see if I can do it. Okay. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. You can't hear it. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Okay.
All right, ladies.
Here it is.
Let's go! I'm begging you to put your loving hand out, baby. I'm begging you to put your loving hand out, darling. Riding high when I was king. I played it hard and fast 'cause I had everything. Like a lady's fashion, like a spreading disease. Stepping on the way in the classroom. These weapons with the greatest of ease. The games take out, all the cameras look out. And if they catch us slipping, well, it's all over about. If one guy's colors and the others don't mix, they're gonna pass it up, pass it up, pass it up, and pass it up. Hey! Now you're talking back to me. Take them out, keep them separated. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. Get up, everybody's gonna be thirsty. Get out, everybody's gonna be thirsty. Gotta lose your mind if you're trying. That's it.
So there you have it. Wait, hold on. There you go. Pretty rocking video. What do you think? What do you think? In my background here. Let me grab my background. Wait here. There she is. It's back. It's back. So yeah, so it's very exciting. And you know, we're gonna manifest this. We're gonna make this happen. I always wanted to play on a cruise, like a rock cruise. So I'm putting it out there, guys. All-female hard rock tribute band with a guitar player. And I would like to go on a cruise. Isn't like Monsters of Rock or something? I don't know. Yeah, I know some people. So I might have to reach out and make that a reality. I think it would be so cool to play on a cruise. I've been on a cruise one time and it was pretty awesome. I sailed the Mediterranean, the largest cruise ship in the world. One of them. That's when I went to Italy and Barcelona, I forget. Naples. It stopped there. Like we got off the boat and everything. And I mean, those cruise ships are um massive. I remember they had they had shows and stuff. I remember it was like almost was it like a water trapeze thing? I mean, this is all on the ship, you know? It was so cool. I mean, there's hot tubs and bars on top. I mean, it was really big. Um, but yeah, I'd like to go on another cruise, but it would be so great. Like I said, a long time ago too. Like that's what I believe anything is possible and anything is possible. And I believe we co-create with God and the universe. And um so I don't think anything is off limits. But yeah, but a long time ago I had always said and I when we talked about manifestation and all that, we talk about that a lot on the show. But I said, I want to travel the world playing music. I said it because, I don't know, like I've always done music and creative stuff. It doesn't exactly, pay the bills or you're making millions of dollars. And I was like, I don't know how I would afford to go and travel and see the world like just out of my own pocket. But I said, I want to go, I want to see the world through music. I want to do that. And I did. I did it. I did it. So, and I still want to do it. I would love to go back to Japan or, Australia. That would be. That's one I never got to Australia. I wish I did in New Zealand. But I would like to go to Australia. Except like there's a lot of spiders and snakes and there's kangaroos too. There's boxing kangaroos, and yeah. Where would you guys want to go if you could go anywhere in the world? Anybody out there still in the chat room, or am I just talking to myself here? I see a few people watching still. There's people watching. There are people watching. They don't want to chat, but that's okay if you don't want to chat. But where would you like to go in the world if anyone's out there? Let me know. I'm also still wondering what you're having for dinner because no one told me what they're having for dinner, and I told you we're having Chinese food. But yeah, so I want to make that happen again because it's like the best thing in the world is to be able to play music. And like of course I'd love to go and I would do my original stuff as well, but hey, you get to go and you get to get paid and play and sing and use your talents and spread the love and the light. Um there's no better job than that and actually get to do something you enjoy doing and put your talent to use. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. But I see a rock cruise in the future. So anyone out there watching this and they want a really hot all female band with a like I said, a guitar and playing some hard rock stuff. And that's the thing too. I like so much, like everyone, right? We have an eclectic taste in music. There's so much music I love. Like I love a lot of like older stuff. Like I love Billy Joel. I've talked about that. I play the piano. I like Elton John, the Beatles. I have a soft side. I love all that. So I love Tori Amos. I'm like soft side. But when it comes to performing, I love performing hard rock. I like stuff I like a lot of energy and stuff you could jump around and run across the stage and you know, can't really do that to I guess maybe like an Elton John song. I have to put him not to no knock at Elton John. Some of his stuff is like but what, like Crocodile Rock or something, you're running and stuff. But I just love songs that you could perform to, like that they're just like you could dance and you could run and like we do some Ozzy Osbourne, we do like Crazy Train, and so I used to do that a long time ago, but it's just fun to dance around and sing and to get into it, and I like to play different characters. So, ah, just as wonderful, yes. But yeah, so there you go. So we covered Suno, so you know my thoughts on Suno now. I mean, like I said, if it was up to me, I would erase all AI because I think it's just going to be, it's dangerous. And I think that, it's going to be a debate. I'm just stretching out my, say my wrinkles. Oh my God, I tried this red light therapy stick thing. Dan got me that for my birthday like 2 years ago. But I can't find the charger and it just died. And it worked. I had this, I was getting this wrinkle above my eyebrow. You can't really see it now because the camera is pretty good at making me look better on camera. But I getting this one wrinkle on top of my eyebrow. I'm like, where did that come from? Like, oh. And so I put the stick on there one night. On the stick. It, you press it on your head and it just like kind of turns on. I just kept going over the wrinkle. I swear it went away. I was like, no, it's kind of back now. But it really helped. And then I was just like, oh, I can't find the charger and it died. We'll have to order another one. And he also got me, it's funny because he got me these things for my birthday like 2 years ago. And I never opened them. And they were for your face. There was one, it was like a dermaplaning thing where it takes off the dead skin. Like you get these when you go for, this is a woman thing. Sorry guys if it's kind of boring. Girls, when you get those nice facials and they put all the creams and they do that stuff. And, they do something called dermaplaning. And what it will do, it doesn't hurt. It's just like they say a blade. That sounds scary, but it's not like sharp. I don't know. And they just kind of, they renew your skin. So they take off the dead things. Oh, Aaron says Amy wants to go to Italy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Italy. I've been to Italy once or twice. When we were on the cruise, it was like you're kind of just going through and then you could stop off for I think it was an hour or a couple hours. You get to go off. But I was in Milan, Italy. And yes, they have food. Oh my God. The gelato or whatever. I was saying that right. The gelato. That was so good. I mean, yeah, the food is delicious. And I'm not Italian, but I am now. I'm married to an Italian. And my father-in-law is an Italian. Smuriggs, hopefully he's watching. And he's a great cook. Oh my gosh. I had for my birthday. Okay, this is something I never crave. Because I don't eat, well, I don't eat that much meat anymore. I'm trying not to eat too much meat, but I do, still like meat and I eat it sometimes like protein or whatever. But I was like, what can I have for my birthday that's different that I haven't had in a while? And for some reason I saw, because I was doing a fast for my birthday, I did a fast for a couple days where I didn't eat anything. I was just having water and drinks, electrolytes or whatever. I do these weird fasts and stuff sometimes. And when I was on my fast, I saw something, probably on Facebook, whatever. Someone had this big meatball and I was like, oh. And when you're not eating, I'm like, I want a meatball. And I don't know why. And then on my birthday, Dan was like, well, what do you want for dinner? Do you want to go somewhere or what do you want to do? And I was like, I want a meatball. And so we ended up taking it out and this place across the street that was supposed to be good, but I don't know, it sucked. It wasn't that good. I was like, oh man, this meatball has no taste. And so it wasn't very good because Dan is a great cook and he makes really good meatballs. And Spriggs makes great meatballs too. He made the meatballs and sausage the one time. You could tell these guys are Italian and I am not a very good cook. So, and Amy's a great cook. Remember we made, oh my gosh, was it Christmas or Christmas Eve? And Dan made all that lasagna, and I think he made meatballs too. They were so good. He's good at meatballs, and I said, I am by no means is that no by any means a good cook. I'm just not. My mom makes good meatballs. My mom's a good cook, but my mom's not traditional cook. She would make stuff sometimes like meatballs, but they would fall apart. They didn't look that nice, but they tasted really good. So that's important. They would kind of fall apart. She was more not so much visual, but she's a good cook. My mom made really good meatloaf. That was my favorite thing growing up. And then I went through my phase where I didn't eat meat anymore. It's oh no, I'm not eating meat. And for a couple of years in California, all that, I did the vegetarian and the vegan and all that stuff. But I think everything is in balance and in moderation. So, and then there's the protein debate. Okay, Dan's going to get the Chinese food. Okay, he's going to get the Chinese food. The what? And a drink from Sheets. Okay.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Dan says hi, everybody.
Hi. Holistic shock.
Holistic.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what did I order? I got some, I love you too. I got some crab ragoon. I love that. Cheese wonton. Oh my God. Joe is a Tori Amos fan. Really? I love Tori Amos. She was my favorite in the 90s. I love her. I love her songs. She's just, Dan had a crush on her. You know what's funny? And you probably don't know this, and I know this because I was a huge fan of Tori Amos. She was one of my influences as I rocker chick and I love rock music and fronting bands and all that. But I told her I have a softer side and her music, Little Earthquakes. And I remember hearing that in high school. This girl, Allison, who's probably not watching, but Allison was responsible because she gave me a cassette tape. I'm aging myself here. Yes, I was born in the 80s and we had cassette tapes. She gave me Little Earthquakes and I just loved it. And for that was in high school. And then years, I always loved her, like a bunch of her albums. I had the Little Earthquake piano book. I would play that sometimes. I was trying to learn Leather. Remember that song, Leather? God and Cornflake Girl. Which one is God? Crucify, like all those. Oh, now I want to listen to her. Maybe I'll listen to her on our Alexa later. I love her. There was some I didn't have, like was Under the Pink. I don't know if I had that one. That from the Choir Girl Hotel. She just had great melodies, and she's like a little quirky and weird. But anyway, I was getting to the point was I loved her for so many years. It was an influence. And when I moved to LA and everything, and I got into all that, and I met someone who he knew I loved Tori Amos, and he's like, well, I know her manager, this guy Arthur, and then I ended up like almost working with him and kind of, but and then when I recorded with Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses, he produced my song, a couple of my songs, but he had told me that Tori Amos, I think I could be wrong, he was in her band because before she went to piano, or I mean, she always did piano, but they like tried to put her in a band first, and not behind the piano. And he even said, he was like, no, she didn't really like the band. She was more comfortable in front of the piano. Like she just wanted to be behind a piano. But I think it might have been called Tori Says or something. I could be wrong about the name. But she was in a band, fronting a band. And I think Matt Sorum was in the band because I remember, like, I remember saying, I love Tori Amos. He was like, oh, I was in her band. I could be wrong, but I really think that it's like ringing a bell. But anyway, so Tori Amos was in a band in the beginning and she didn't like it and she wanted to be behind the piano, but where she belongs. I mean, she's awesome. With that one, I'm just reading Joe's message. With that wonderful handmade song lyric I have from you, I really feel like that I'm part of it. Oh, yes. Well, Hollis, I had mentioned on that closing segment on the humorous compilation video I sent you for September. You're the one, you have been on the most incredible journey I think I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, it's been quite a journey. I feel like I've lived many lifetimes, many different eras. And it has its pros and cons, I mean, pros as far as like life experience and just learning different things, getting to see all that stuff. I would say one of the biggest downfalls, I think, one of the biggest cons, moving around a lot, it's hard to make friends. It's like you don't have roots anywhere. You don't that's one thing. I think that would probably be like the hardest part is just like, you're starting over again and again and it's just hard. Like I miss Amy and Aaron a lot, and but you don't, so there's good things. Yeah, it's just definitely been interesting. Like, and that's also probably why I see the world differently than some people, like who just kind of stayed in one place and everything, which is totally fine, because I said there's pros and cons to all that, like they have families, they have like loads of relatives around. We don't really have that, there's no family here. And, you're always moving. You don't really put roots down anywhere and all that. On the other side, it's pretty, it's very interesting. And that's why I also too believe, like, I don't know. I think we pick our path. You got to watch some of that. Not you. Who am I talking to? You got to watch it if you're interested. Some people are not. But some of those videos I was talking about with the breakdown, like how a lot and many of the accounts say the same thing. Like you pick your life before you come, and like you pick these experiences, it's gonna make your soul grow, and like it's crazy. So if in that way to think about things, that I think that's true. Like, cause like certain people will, you evolve more your soul. Like you're having all these like experience and tests to learn about yourself. I've definitely been on a weird journey about like self growth and knowing yourself and like, which some people maybe aren't, because like, that's what I always say, like people who maybe just kind of stayed in one place or like, they were married really young, they had kids, they had their job, they had their thing. It's like they weren't in Hollywood, like trying to like escape the So like the music industry, they didn't meet like 80 toxic people. God bless them. They're lucky they didn't. But all those things taught me so much about myself. It taught me so much. Now, if I didn't have those experiences, maybe I just wouldn't be the same person I am, good or bad. Like, it's just I am very weird, but I think weird, maybe. I don't know. Am I weird? Am I weird? Am I weird? So I know I wouldn't change anything. Even certain things you think hindsight. Oh my god, I would change that certain lessons. But as I said, I adopted that mindset of everything from every person you meet, from every experience, good or bad. And I think we learn the most from the bad experiences. Unfortunately, you can learn the easy or hard way. But I am now learning the good way because I don't want any more bad experiences. We could create here. So I'm creating a happy dream instead of any more nightmares or these things. You say that, but then we could go really deep into all that stuff about, the ego and God. Like, I love God. God is the best. I love it. And love and God and connection. And that's why I love you, Amy and Aaron and Joe and all of you guys in here. But God is the best. And when you just like, that's number one, and your connection, and when the world is chaotic and everything outside of you can't control other stuff. The one thing you can control is yourself, your connection, and something bigger, whatever that looks like for you. And that has brought me great peace. Yes, everything with God is possible. That has brought me such peace. Like more recently, more than ever. I've always, like I said, I've always knew there was more, and like, but I didn't grow up in a religious home. Like, we didn't go to church. It was like, it just, I had to find these things on my own. And when you're not doing things with God, or when you're not like tuned into that, life is miserable because you cannot control what happens outside. You can't. But or what other people do to you, or what, like, you can't control that, but you can stay true to yourself and like your faith and spirituality, whatever. Like, that's what you can. And to me, that brings me happiness. That's why I spend a lot of my time reading about it, and like, and studying old things, and like, like, all, it's just amazing. Like, and it also is like what lenses you're seeing the world through. It's a quote, and Aaron and Amy, I mean, you guys would know, but like in the Bible and all that, I think it says like, I just read it the other day, but it was like, no, I don't want to quote. It was just a simple sentence, but like the way you see things, if you, I don't know, if you're always seeing evil, then what is it? The wicked of the heart. Like, when you're looking for good in people, you see it more. When you're always looking for the bad, you see it more. Like, so that's not the quote at all. But Aaron, you might know. But my point is saying, like, I've found myself trying to be more like, you try to see the good in people, and it's not easy. It's like, it's very difficult sometimes but like, if you could look past all the shit and all the labels and all the opinions, and you can see the light in the soul of someone, like, that's how we're really supposed to like look at people. But it is not easy. Sometimes, all the time in this world, especially like when you have different opinions, and people who do bad things and all that. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about now. I'm off in a million different directions. What do you think about that? Oh yeah, and then I forgot. No one's here to say, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, because I'm just here by myself. But I'm not by myself because you guys are here. Aaron says Amy was just saying that Dan makes amazing meatballs and he's a great cook. Yes, he's gonna make. Oh yeah, so back to the meatball story. It's not that very, very interesting, but he's going to do a repeat, a do-over, not a repeat. No, not a repeat, a do-over. And Sunday, he's going to cook some meatballs because I got chipped on the birthday because there was only one big meatball, which it was fine. It was big, so it wasn't like I needed loads of them. But I had no taste. And it was just like, I like lots of sauce as well. I love a saucy. I like it saucy. And there was not a lot of sauce. And the meatball was not flavored. And what I said, like, even being not the greatest cook, I guess I would borderline say I'm a bad cook. I guess I could get better, but I don't cook a lot of stuff. Like, I make salads and sandwiches and things like that. But you think you put all kinds of different seasonings. I said, well, Deanna, what do you put in your meatballs? He puts like garlic powder and basil and oregano and salt and pepper and like all that stuff. Even I would know to do that, but yeah. So there you go. It's a do-over. We're gonna have a meatball, some nice Italian meatballs. What you guys drinking out there on this Friday night? Live on Holistics. If you are here, I thank you again for being here. Thank you. I love talking to you guys. I missed you guys. I was gone for a couple weeks. It's been a month already. Like what the what? But revelations, not we're growing. We're growing. We come here to check in. But that's the thing too, like I had to go out and do some stuff. So I have some interesting stuff to tell you as well. Because you do it the podcast every week 3 times. And sometimes, I'd be thinking, oh, what can I talk about? So sometimes you got to go live a little bit of life experience and you could talk about some interesting stuff. We're going to talk about that video, that Perez Hilton guy. Okay. So do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that? So I don't know. It was like he did a TikTok live and he was like harming himself and he was like, I don't know. I've already said that kill like a million times on this podcast. Like, like I'm just saying, like they take you off. Well, we're not on TikTok, on a live or whatever. But, that's the thing. Like, okay, so I saw the video. Now, this guy, Perez Hilton, I heard of him a long time ago. It's not like I follow him or anything, but like I knew he was something with like celebrity gossip or whatever. And apparently, this is why I think it's sad. And it hit. I mean, everyone's talking about, it's hard to not to see it. It's on every freaking Instagram, the reels, and it's everywhere. But it hit me because, living in Hollywood and the experiences, not that I had those kind of experiences, like I've mentioned on the show and before, and you kind of I was elbows away from a lot of famous people and all that. And, it's just like, it's like a club, and it's like, you're not invited in. And I'm like, I'm happy I wasn't invited in, but, you're kind of around it. Well, why? Well, like, and when I saw that, I felt really bad for him because, you see the video and then you kind of click on it and then you see other videos. And I saw a video, I don't know how long before this was than the one we're talking about, the self-harm one, but there was a few videos and I don't know if they were more recent, but he was crying and he was just saying like that he found God and he was like just crying in a Bible. Like obviously like this guy, this is just my take on it. You know what I mean? This guy has a lot of regret and remorse, or I'm sure shame and guilt, all that stuff, which are, we carry that is not, good to have. But, he made a living pretty much off of, I guess, what do you say? Like, other people's like, pain or whatever, rumors, and he's starting rumors and, he made a lot of money. I'm sure. I mean, I think he's a millionaire. I mean, loads of money, but it was off of like spreading gossip, which is very low vibe and, making fun of, I think, Britney Spears and many others and all that, which she had a breakdown and everything. Again, I don't know because I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but I'm sure like, but you see the comments on people like, oh, well, he serves him right. That's what he gets. Well, he wasn't there for Britney, blah, blah, blah. And I think, and then there's people saying it was like a spiritual attack, the demons and the dark energy of Hollywood and all that. Yeah. I mean, some of that's real, I think, and then there was that Ariana Grande video. Did anyone see that? You guys know what I'm talking about? I don't really like go out of my way to look at it, but it's just like you keep seeing it. So you click on it, whatever. And there was a video and I watched it of the video because to see what it was called, like, what was it called? Pedal or something. And she's there and, at the end of the video, she takes like a chainsaw and there's like these Hollywood people there. The whole video, I mean, you can go watch it. I mean, whatever. it's not whatever. It's not that good. It's just like 6 minutes, and they're auditioning. Obviously, at the end, she doesn't like these Hollywood people. At the end, she has a chainsaw, and she's like, it doesn't show her doing it, but then she's covered in blood and like, it's just like, and I guess she got a lot of, flack for it, and people are like, what is this and all that. Um, but just dark and gory and like, I never followed her. I don't really care, but she was like a pop princess, right? Like, not that at all, but it was just, so then I guess the next day that happened to him, and if you look at the videos, he's covered in blood, he looks like the devil, you know what I mean? He's doing all these bad things. Um, but I just found it really, sad, because, and then people are always commenting, well, that's what he gets. And he's this, and he's just like, you know, I just feel like this guy was obviously probably very much in turmoil. He sounded like he was apologizing. Like I saw another clip then that he went on a podcast, and he was like, it seems like he was like apologizing, but he's like, I know everyone's gonna hate me forever. Like something, maybe I'm paraphrasing, but like something like that, that this guy obviously is like, tormented. For anyone who does that to themselves or someone else, or to themselves, so like self-harm and all that. I mean, the guy is really tormented to do that. And then people talk about MK Ultra and mind control and what's going on. If you see that movie Disclosure Day, that's exactly what they were doing in Disclosure Day, how the mind control works and how like they could literally control you doing this stuff. So I mean, there's so many different theories. Again, I'm just talking about it. I don't have the answers. But just like, again, that's something for humanity. I'm like, why are we seeing it? Why did that whole world see that? Obviously, because he put it up there or whatever. Or did he? I mean, was he told? I don't know. But I don't know. I just think that like it's come up before, and I've talked about it, like selling your soul in Hollywood, or even I've used that phrase before, selling your soul. And I have a song called "Devil in Me," and I talk about the price tag to your soul, and I have to put it out. But that's the thing. I don't think you can sell your soul. You know what I mean? I don't think you could ever lose your soul. I think the soul is eternal. That's me. Like your soul is your soul. Now, I think when it comes to Hollywood and stuff, this is where the danger is. And this is what a lot of people do when they sell their soul. You give a piece of it up, you trade it. He traded his soul, like part of it. Like he said in other clips as well, like, people don't really know the real me. Like that's where, like, I feel bad for doing that. It wasn't really me. Like his true authentic self, his heart, who he really is deep down. When he got into all of that, that's what it means. You're selling your soul. Like you're trading a part of who you are because you want the money, the fame, the glamour, all this stuff that you're trading. And I've seen it before. I've seen it with Katy Perry. I mean, a lot of these other celebrities, like her breakdown, she's crying and she had blonde hair and she's like, Catherine, and I don't know who I am. She's this persona. And it's not really you. And that eats at your soul. The only reason I know just an iota of that is because even when I was in bands and things and in Hollywood and all that, I also felt like it wasn't totally me all the time. Like you're always putting on these masks. So your true heart and soul is crying like you want to talk to someone real, not just someone who's using. You just don't know. And that place is like a snake pit. And not just Hollywood, just the entertainment industry. It's all built on ego. Ego, edge God out. Ego. That whole place. I mean, entertainment industry, it's all superficial, it's shallow, it's empty. It is not involving God at all. It is not like, you know what I mean? It's not involving soul. So I really like, so he definitely traded part of his soul. When you hear that, right? Once you sign your soul to the devil, you can never get it back. I don't think that's true. I think you can be forgiven. I mean, if you look to God and you're literally, you want to be forgiven, because it always says God forgives people, so if he could, like, you know what I mean? But all the really mean comments, well, that's what he gets and it deserves that and all that. I don't know. I just think it's very sad because it's a dark game. This world is, it's there's so much ego. Ego is the killer. You know what I mean? I would think in your head, we create all these things, ego is the complete opposite of the good of God. in connection, because ego is separation. What's the opposite of that? We're talking about earlier. We are one. Everything is one. The universal love, like the God mind, the holy thing, the good things, the unconditional, the authentic self without the mask, your soul, your essence. That's the part that you give away, or you let borrow, or you trade for the riches of this world, or the material pursuits of the world. All that stuff that you think is going to make you happy. And again, coming from a little bit of a lived experience, I thought I wanted all these things. Oh, I got to play a big stage, or I'm nothing without unless I have a record deal. And at one point I got those things. I got to see the world. I got to see these big stages, and part of it was lonely. And it was kind of like, okay, but are any of these people my friends? Do they really like me? Do they know who I am? Or do they just like this persona? Like, are they using me? Are they, like, you just don't know. So to be surrounded, and I could only imagine, probably, that's probably what you don't know who your friend is. That anyone really like you for your true you, but how would they know who that is? Because you're living this facade. It's not, and that, I think, after a while, just is exhausting and can make you so, obviously, like in his case, extreme, like what he did. He feels this guilt and shame of what he did and what people think, when deep down he's probably not that person. And the only reason I'm going on and on about this, I don't even know why, but because he put on those videos, like saying he's like, he feels so sorry, and he like found Jesus and God and please forgive me and all that stuff. And it's just like, so I don't know. This world is just like an ego trap. And I think it's just, I don't know. Anybody out there have any input? Anybody at all? Anybody? I don't know. Okay, let me play a video. Let's see. Let me play a little Lolly, my love zombie. And that's why it's so important to me. My little girl. See, I don't even have any kids. I have a zombie. Lolly, the love zombie. She's so innocent and pure. And she says we are all one. She's not ego. She's pure love and innocence. She's innocent before the world. See the world? And that's why when she gets into book 2, when she gets to Earth, she is going to be tested. She's going to be tested. Because this Earth plane, this stuff's heavy here. There's so many ego and separation, because she remember who she truly is. She's a love zombie. She's here to spread love and light, and she's innocent. And we're all actually innocent, but we're like, just because we grow up, it's just like we still are that childlike heart in ourselves. But once you get to a certain age and your body doesn't look like a kid anymore, now we can just treat each other like shit. You know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy, because people love kids. Why? Not everybody does. But my point is, like, they love kids. Why? The innocence of a baby. Like, oh my God, a baby's born. And before the world taints them, they're like, they just are the most pure thing. They just came, and animals too. They just came from the other side. They're pure. They're not tainted by the world. They don't have, like, they're not told all of a sudden to be this, or labeled or judged, or this, or they have to learn this. They're just, they're like the closest thing from the other side. And that's the innocence of them. And we get into this world, and like, I don't know, like a couple weeks later or a year later, it's like you just like get thrown all this stuff of this world that is not really truly like who we are, or even what any of this is about. That's why I just think it's a crazy world. And when I say Earth School, when I heard that term, and I've heard it before, that podcast I was watching, it just makes so much sense. And it's a hard place to be. So if you're here, make the most of it, learn, grow, because if there is other places, whether you call whatever your religion, heaven, this, whatever it is, like, I don't know, is there something easier, or that unconditional love, or that, and that's what, and I said that's Love Zombie's land. That's where she comes from. Okay, so I'm gonna play that, then we'll kind of wrap it up here a little bit. But man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. And let's play Everything Is Me. Here we go. I haven't watched this since last time. Yeah. Should we play that one? And then Love Zombies theme song, maybe. All right, let's do it.
Lolly in Love Zombies land, pinks bloom under every hand. She wakes up with a mirror grin, gives her own sweetheart a spin. She says, I am you, you are me. Love is mine and it runs free. She seems like sunbeams in the sky. He strums while she sings along, turning quiet into song. Fluffy love curls by her feet, pink hearts dancing down the street. She meditates and hums all day, love zombie magic, yeah, yeah, yeah. She sways where the roses grow, breath in, breath out, nice and slow. Dino plays a gentle line, and the whole land starts to shine. I'm you, you are me. I am everything you see. Everything is me. Everything is me. Lovely, shine so bright, lovely, pink all night. I am you, you are me. I am everything you see. Mirror, mirror, hear her say, self-love starts in me today. Fluffy love, Dino too. All the love comes right on through. She closes her eyes and sings it back. Whole wide world turns pink just like that. I am you, you are me. I am everything you see. Everything is me. Everything is me. Lovely, shine so bright, lovely, pink all night. I am you, you are me. I am everything you see.
And there she is. Aw, I haven't watched it in a couple weeks because I've been like shifting my focus. I've been now more shifting to bands and music and everything. But every time I watch it, I just get happy. So that's why I play it again. No, I'm not gonna play it again. But maybe we'll play the Love Zombies theme song. Because again, like they're just, she's saying everything is me. I am everything. You are me. Simple concept. Imagine. I'm quoting John Lennon. Imagine. But if really everyone thought about that, like if I hurt you, it would hurt me. Ow. And you wouldn't do it. That's so simple. See, there's simple answers lie where there's truth. Ah, that's one of my lyrics in my song Edenshire. But humans, and we make everything so complex, so complex. And the simplest thing, I should get my t-shirt and say we are one. I truly, I always pray that like you really could, if people could ever really grasp their head around that simple concept. I obviously I didn't make that up. I mean, you hear that all the time. Like, what, Bob? We are one, man. Yeah, it's like hippy dippy and all that, but it's true. It's true. And if we could just treat people with respect, regardless of whatever they think or believe, and this and that, division and politics and race and all that. And that's what the Love Zombies talk about. They talk about it. They don't even know what those concepts are, but they're warned about them. They're warned about them when they come to Earth. These are the things that humans fight about. And it's not like here at all. It's not like everyone's connected. It's not we. It's me. It's not us. It's me, I, me. And that's the problem. We have our own thing, and of course, you have to take care of yourself and worry about your own things first, so you could function and do good in the world. How do you help yourself if you can't, how to help others if you can't help yourself? Put the mask on first and all that, and the plane and all that. But at the same time, it's just like it's this world of me. How do I get ahead? How do I do? It's just you see it all the time. Yeah. Yes. Pondering philosophical. But yes, okay. So just because it does make me happy, I'm going to play the Love Zombie theme song. And my favorite scene in this little video is the part where she goes and she takes the little blue monster's hand and she brings him along because he's feeling like we've all felt that way, right? Like at a party, or you're new at a job, or new in school, or and everyone knows each other and they're all talking and like, oh, you're the new person, or you're just kind of like shy and like, You want to see what's around. You want to be involved, but and then there's sometimes, if you're lucky, there's that one person who's nice and says, "Hey, what's your name? Come over." That's called empathy. That's called something where they say, "I was once the new person," or "I was or "I know what it's like to be shy," or that's called emotional intelligence or awareness. Oh, like, let's be nice. The love zombies are nice. They say to the little blue monster, "Come on, it's okay. Like, join us." And then he's happy, and then everyone's happy because it spreads, the domino, the ripple effect. When you smile at someone, as little as that is, smile. Like, sometimes, like, not to be fake, but like, if you give, smile. And they might smile, but if you give them the dirty looks, and then maybe they give the next person a dirty look. And so I do believe in that too, and always feel like smiling and all that, but you know what I get. You get what I'm saying. So let's see the little blue monster. Here's Love Zombies, a theme song. Here we go.
We got monsters at the party, big green grins and silly feet. Every face gets a hello, every heart gets a seat. We dance in a funny shuffle, hands out like a great big hug. If you feel a little lonely, come on in and feel the love. No one stands outside, no one stays behind. If you're spooky, if you're shy, you still get a place tonight. We love zombies, love zombies. L-O-V-E. We love zombies, love zombies. Z-O-M-B-I-E-S. We walk with our hands out, ready to hug you, ready to love you. We love zombies, love zombies. Everyone belongs. Skeletons and werewolves, ghosts and polka dot shoes, even tiny little trolls get a turn to join the groove. If your steps are slow and wobbly, that is just your special style. We don't like zombies, we love them, so stay and dance a while. No one stands outside, no one stays behind. If you're spooky, if you're shy, you still get a place tonight. We love zombies, love zombies. L-O-V-E. We love zombies, love zombies. Z-O-M-B-I-E-S. We walk with our hands out, ready to hug you, ready to love you. We love zombies, love zombies. Everyone belongs. We heal you with a hug, we cheer you when you're blue. If your monster heart is heavy, we'll make room for you. We love zombies, love zombies. L-O-V-E. We love zombies, love zombies. Z-O-M-B-I-E-S. We dance like zombies, side by side with you and you and you. We love zombies. No one is left out.
We love zombies, love zombies. L-O-V-E. We love zombies. Ah, I just love that. That is so cute. Yeah, you see? No one's left behind. Everyone belongs. Ha! 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 So guys, well, you know what? I think it's going to be time to wrap it up a bit here. And let's see, when will I be back? Unfortunately, I like practicing, but I think I'm going to be practicing Monday. But I may get to pre-record one, so it will be new. So at least something new is up, and because I could pre-record them, that's the problem. Like, the schedule, collides. It collides. So that's all right. But I will be live again. If I'm not live Monday, I will be back again next week at some point, because I don't want to leave this long in between doing live shows. And I want to go and listen to little Tori Amos maybe tonight. Now we've been talking about it. Joe loves Oreos, and I didn't know that about Joe. See, so let's see my comments here. Anyone else out there in diners? In a dinner's on me, I center. What? Aw. Yes. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any things here. But thank you, Joe, always for your support. Yes, and there's the QR code there. And again, love zombies out there. For those people maybe watching this or maybe watch the replay, they say it's a book for children because it has cartoons, but it's really a reminder for adults. I wish more people would order it, not just because I make money. It's not like I make really a couple dollars, not even really, but really because the story, it's important. And I'm going to be doing a little video about it, but I have Lolly Love Packs to send. And I got all the stuff. I ordered some bulk sunglasses. Now, if you read the book, you will understand why the sunglasses are important, because when you put this heart-shaped sunglasses on, and I always used to wear them in my band Love Zombies. I have a couple pairs, but I ordered some, and I'm going to do a little video about it, see if anyone's interested. But a Lolly Love Pack, and you're going to get a heart pair of sunglasses. You're going to get a signed copy of the book. You're also going to get a lollipop, a heart-shaped lollipop. Maybe next podcast I'll show you guys this stuff. A little pocket hug. It's so cute. And I have these cute mailers. It's like a whole little package. And yeah, I just thought, it's just something nice, and it's like I said, the more I want people to order, because I want them to read the book and to share it and spread it. So this offer still stands. If you're watching this and maybe, money's low or you can't afford it, I don't want to buy it, I don't know. But if you can't afford it and you want to just read the story, I will happily send you a PDF of the digital copy of it. So you just let me know if you're interested in reading it. I want more people to read it because it's important. And like I said, I think, the world and adults, they could learn a lot from the Love Zombies. It's not just for kids. It's more for adults, to be honest, because, kids haven't, kids are like sponges. They soak up things, but adults already set in their ways. They could use a reminder of what's important in life, not just material pursuits. Not you guys. I'm not talking about that, but in general, what's important. They value love, connection, kindness, empathy. That's what the Love Zombies are. And it's like I said. So there you go. It is on Amazon. And the Lolly Love Pack, I'm going to do a little video on that and show you exactly what you can get. But you can get the heart-shaped glasses like I wear. And yes, so I have those, my Lolly. And there's something else I feel. I got stickers too, little stickers. And I love making packages. So I hope someone orders them because I love making packages. You send a little care package with love from Lolly, the Love Zombie. And you could officially be in the Love Zombies army. You could be spreading love because that is our goal and our purpose. I feel is just to make other people's life a little better, not just our own, not just worried about what we can do, what we can get, and what we need, and all that. It's important, fine, but also it's important to care about others, and that's why I do this podcast because like I said, when I started in the beginning, a community for people navigating a changing world, human connection and meaningful conversation. Human connection is so important. And with the AI and everything, sometimes you just don't even know what's real anymore in this world. It's just authentic people are hard to come by. It's, because it's such a busy world and it's it's just so much. It's just not simple like it used to be as simple. And I think that's hard for a lot of people. So here, I try to keep it real, take the masks off, freaking just be yourself. We're not going to judge you. If you're having a hard day, I always say it. If you're having a hard day or a bad day, I hope you're not, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to say it. And it's not like, oh, you're bringing down the vibe because you're having a negative. If you want to chat or put a comment out there, maybe we could help you. There's always really nice people in here. And, we want to help each other because the world can be tough and it's not an easy place to navigate. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I hope that, I hope I could bring some happiness to you. And if you've been watching and you guys are still there, thank you so much for tuning in. You've been watching and listening to Hollis-tics, of all the places to be in the whole entire universe and all the billions of people out there you could be listening to. You chose me, so I thank you for that, for choosing me. And yeah, that's why I like to do the podcast, because I like to connect, even though I know it's over the computer and everything. But I just think it's important, human connection. We use the tools, and I talk about AI a lot. I use it for the video of, we talked about Suno. I experimented, but nothing could ever replace the human soul, or the creativity but behind real music and art and love and paintings and stories and all that stuff. Very important. Very important. Don't lose the humanity. Oh my gosh, I should next time I'll try to find the video of this AI robots we're making, they're like restaurants or are using them now in their kitchen. I don't know how many, but I forget where it was, but it was I have to find it. It was just so, oh my gosh. Literally he's kneading dough. It's like this robot. It just looked like, what is this world coming to? It's crazy, scary, but I don't know. It was just, I would laugh. You laugh because it looked funny, it's literally this, they're spinning dough, and I'll have to try to find it, because I usually send them to Dan, because then I know I've sent it to him. Anything that I want to show. So maybe one of these episodes, next episode, I compile loads of clips and to watch them. And I'm I should talk about this on the show. We should talk about this. And then I didn't do it this time, but maybe we'll do that. I'll get some of the videos out that can lead to conversations about such things, so on and so forth. Okay, guys. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Hollis Mahady. If you're interested in checking out my website, you can do so. Let me just go here and hold on one second. Hide comment. Sorry, Joe. But yes, there you go. HollisMahady.com. If you're feeling generous, you could go over and you scan the QR code. You could join our community. And when you do join, you do get a copy of the Love Zombies PDF. It's up there on the Buy Me a Coffee there. So you can get that as well. Okay. Okay, guys. All right. Well, thank you again so much for joining me tonight. And I will be back next week at some point. I will definitely keep you posted when that will be. You'll get a text, or I'll put it on my Facebook. New episode. If it's not a new episode, it's a repeat. But I'm still here. And you could always reach me on my website if you ever want to email me, talk to me. Or again, if you want a copy of the Love Zombies PDF and you don't want to join, or you can't afford it, let me know if you would like to read it. I would appreciate more people reading it, because it's important. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's it. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to start my goodbye process. See, sometimes I just don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. I guess I don't have to leave, but it's already been 2.5 hours. So I don't know. Okay. So I will see you all next week. And until then, tomorrow night I have a gig with the new band. And I will tell you more. I didn't really talk enough as much about the 80s band, but I'm going to tell you guys about that. And there's another band as well. So I'm, I don't know. You're trying to juggle it all and see what works, because I'd love to be playing all the time with many people, but then schedules collide and there's conflicting things, and you don't know how many bands you could be into this. And I want to do my own music, blah, 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 blah. But it's a good problem to have, because I'm meeting amazing people along the way, and it's really good to be back out there. So much more to come. Lots of good things coming. I hope you all have an incredible weekend. Thank you for joining me for TGI Fridays. TGI Fridays, even though I didn't really talk too much about, the oldies, the shows, but we could do that next week. Thank you for joining for me with TGI Fridays. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Be healthy. Remember, me to we. Spread the light. Spread the love. Smile if you can. If you're feeling it, smile. And yes, take care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. I am Hollis Mahady, and you have been watching Hollis-tics. Love you guys. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you for watching Hollis-tics, hosted by me, Hollis Mahady. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady. You can make a one-time donation or become a member for just a few dollars a month to get extra podcasts and exclusive behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. Or simply scan the code on the screen. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me continue creating independent content for you. If you like the music featured in this show, I license it through Epidemic Sound. You can head over to hollismahady.com, click on the podcast page, and use my link for a free trial. And don't forget to check out VOPUSARadio.com, where I host my music channel and am building a growing community of independent musicians. If you're interested in joining the network, just click Join Network and submit an application. Until next time, remember that you are loved and never alone. From human to human, big hugs. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the outro video. I love this song.
Lights shining from the window late at night. I'm just watching someone else's life go by, wishing it was mine. Dreams, everybody has them at the start. Somewhere along the way they fall apart, and it makes it kind of hard to look up at the lights. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. Try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. When you wish upon a star just to find out it's a plane, and when you think you've come so far, but you're standing still again, and you finally understand. When the lights go out, everything is clear. When the lights go out, I could finally see. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I could finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. Hope, try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't.